fully tested and integrated within 3/4 of a year into the Ukrainian military. Unlike American companies like Palantir, with massive teams and revenue, we accomplished this in conditions with 300 employees. According to the report, Ukraine has already received more than a dozen of these AI-driven drones. LPP's current output is around 50 drones monthly, with planned increases due to growing global demand.
I think we're live. Let me pause this for a second. I do think we're live. I'm going to confirm that on a new browser. Bum, bum, bum. Bum. Yes, I see now. We are live, but we don't have a Eurovision thing, so I don't know how long this is going to go. Hey, John Ash. Yeah, there was interest in doing kind of like a show in Eurovision tonight, even though, like, as an American, I'm totally not into Eurovision right now. But if we're lucky, like last time, where Steph came on and he was able to show stream from his TV where he had Eurovision playing, maybe we could do that.
The MTS drones are entirely in-house built, including explosive payloads. With
until then, we're going to look at
up to 12-kilogram warheads. Militiani notes that all three drone variants from MTS, the 05, 25, and 40, are designed as suicide drones that detonate upon impact. A safety mechanism ensures self-destruction if the drone fails to complete its mission. So that's really good news. Good stuff. Check it there. Now, talking about another drone provided to Ukraine, and again, this is about keeping ahead of the curve. Same story. Well, same kind of concept.
I don't know. Is it better to watch
the Bayraktar TB2 drone? Was
maybe it's better to watch someone in the
big drone of the Ukraine war in the first 6 months. Actually, there was a bit of clever PR done here where they released footage of the drones that was predominantly taken very early in the war, and then they released it over time rather than all at once, even after the Russians had managed to adapt to the TB2 and cause some problems to the TB2. They kept releasing footage of it, so it seemed like it was kind of more long-term successful than it probably actually was. And eventually the Russians managed to be able to deal with the TB2. It's a pretty big drone. It's kind of MQ-9 Reaper type drone. So it ended up getting used more as a reconnaissance drone from a distance rather than one that was releasing these missiles onto Russian equipment.
Hello, Sean LeBron. I think Chris might be coming on too. SOS Chris.
So if you remember the beginning of all that big 60-kilometer stuck convoy on the way to Kiev was like, I think they hit it at the front, hit it at the back, and then it was stuck in the mud and all that kind of stuff. And it was TB2s that were doing some of those strikes. But we haven't really heard too much about it other than occasionally seeing footage coming from, say, the Black Sea of TB2s being used as reconnaissance drones. So Russia jammed Turkey's famous drone in Ukraine. Now Bayraktar is back again with AI. So this goes back to that Czech drone, which is, you know, I think
that's funny. Yes, that's great. You're absolutely right. I was like, I was going to post this, and I actually never did.
AI functional and you know.
So I have a feeling we're going to get a special guest on soon, who might have the link to Eurovision. So let me stop sharing this screen. I think. Ding, ding. Hello, welcome.
Hello, welcome. Yeah,
hi, guys. Hi, Chris.
Wow, I got both of you at the same time. I only had to do one hello, welcome.
You set a tripod up in front of the TV.
Okay, I'm going to show that. Let me see.
Only trouble is I can't hear you.
Okay.
I can't listen to a PC, can I? Because it'll interfere, won't it?
If you have another device, you could also log in as well.
Yeah, but if I log in, it will affect the stream.
I don't know that.
All right. I'm just gonna get a drink and I'll come back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll see if I can turn up the volume.
Pump up the volume. Pump up the volume.
No,
pump
it's
up
full.
the
It's full volume now. All right.
Now let's see how many points you get. Albania third, Austria second.
The song of Eurovision, extraordinary. The people watching it is not towards you, but how many of them? Here we go.
How do they do?
Really well. You are eating.
So this is the
Who's feeling? Oh, that's a girl. That's a girl we really like. Ah, they're in 6. Okay.
she is nasty, isn't she? Good.
The United Kingdom. Come on. From public, you get 0 points. Oh no.
Oh, 0 points.
From the vote.
The United Kingdom with 0 points from the public. But a great reaction here.
Jesus.
Is this the finals? Like 0 points means they're out of it?
So this is the public vote. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any other votes after this?
So
No, this is the last
they say 19. You get.
so it
Oh,
just
wait.
runs through all the countries. Yeah.
So if they don't get first place, then they move.
Leader. No, just behind Israel.
It'll get very
If these are the last votes
tense.
and they don't move into first place, they lose.
That's Eurovision.
You get 126 points. The next country to be receiving points is Latvia. Latvia, you
Tomatoes.
42 points.
Well, that's not good for Latvia.
Okay, this could be big. Have I said that about Urian Pumpkin?
195 points.
Oh, Sweden, they're doing pretty good.
Look at Israel. I told you Israel would be top 3.
Only 5 countries left to receive their points from the audience.
Sorry, I told the chat, the line chat.
Where we stand.
Israel will definitely be top 3.
Netherlands, Italy, France, Switzerland, and Austria.
I mean, Israel could have shit in a box and it would have been in the top 3. Don't you reckon? Israel could have just been a guy on stage shitting in a box. And
Well, Austria's close. Austria could,
Austria won it. Austria won.
42 points.
42. That's good for 10th place.
That is harsh. And so inexplicable. Again, a really engaging performance.
Oh, actually, it might have been 10th place.
Very
Right. How's that? Is that affecting the stream at all?
No, everything's good. Everything's perfect.
Not yet.
Is it okay?
What country is this now? It's Italy, is it?
From now
Oh,
on,
okay, good.
we focus on the top 13 on the scoreboard. Yes, and now Italy. We don't want to keep you waiting much longer.
They'll go to top
Did you?
300 points.
97 points.
enough to get to the top of the league.
97.
Okay, they're out.
And Israel snuck away one
Next up,
single point.
France. Let's see how many points you get. from the public. 50 points.
Oh, not so happy about that.
Two countries here, Switzerland and Austria.
Now it's affecting it, isn't it?
5 days ago, 37 countries were in the running to win the Eurovision Song Contest 2025.
Israel may be
You're getting feedback, isn't
Three potential winners today. That's why this is a three-person job now. Michelle, welcome back on the green room. Thank you, girls, ladies. Together we have given 9 kids $8 and 1 cent, but that was a walk in the park compared to this, I tell you. Okay, on top we have Israel, currently number 1, but Austria and Switzerland have yet to receive their points from the audience. Any of these 3 countries can be the winner tonight, who will take home the trophy. Okay, let's do this. Next up, Switzerland. Switzerland. The views all over the world have awarded you 0 points.
What? Oh, 0 points. And the guy's clapping.
Well, remember Monday, we're very good company.
0 points.
Man, it's like you take a math test and you just fill out the wrong answer for every question.
I wonder
Dupla.
when these things,
Dupla.
the voting is going. Seems like
Fucking hell. Ukraine's going to come to the fore.
people on
Are they next?
like that.
If Sweden fucking win it, I'll eat my fucking egg. Can't believe that. Shit.
What's up?
Oh, it's Swedish well. Austria.
Down to this in just a few seconds, we will know the winner, and one of these artists will take home the trophy tonight. Israel, after your jury points and after your points from the audience, you are currently in the lead with 357 points. You will not get any more.
Australia need 100 points here.
Austria,
100 points,
you
they
can
can win
still
it.
win. If the audience awarded you at least 100 points, the night is yours.
This is quite tense.
Austria, from the audience, you have received 150.
Fucking do it.
Yeah, here we go. I told you. It had nothing to do with the song.
Face with that television final next year. JJ's bringing it back to Austria. Such a sweet, unassuming boy. That is adorable. The cheerleaders will be over the moon. Champion and JJ saying all week how much they wanted JJ to win.
So there we go, Austria.
It was one of the tensest voting sequences I think we've ever seen. Commiserations, of course, to remember Monday. Just 88 points they get in place. All those points came from the juries. So clearly, music professionals
So what was that? How much did they win by?
staging somehow didn't come through with
Oh, he's ignoring the Greek girl.
that was a fireworks going on in that stadium. Even I've given up on Selena. I kept showing up. I can actually reveal the results of the UK public vote. We gave 1 point to Malta, 2 to Greece, 3 to Latvia, 4 to Finland, 5 to Albania, 6 to Estonia, 7 to Sweden, 8 to Lithuania, 10 to Poland, and our 12 points went to Israel. So we did not vote for Austria to win this thing, but win it, JJ did. Bell, she nearly did it with that tremendous phone book for Israel. He's waiting to stage now.
Well, he won't be able to sing like that for a long time.
And he's going to do a sort of on-stage, almost karaoke version of this song.
Okay, let's see.
JJ, Eurovision champion 2025. This 20.
I knew Israel would be in the top three. Like,
By the way, I should tell
I
you,
did not.
Eurovision party.
For a totally different reason than you would.
Big things here out there. We'll find the big Eurovision party with all the best.
what's your different reason?
So he's a
I
boy.
had no idea who was even in it.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
so he is a boy. That is a boy.
They should have had Palestine in it as well.
I said to you that Austria was shouting out at me, but I didn't like it. So I'm only half gay.
Oh, I think the power, he's got a pretty amazing voice, whatever way he identifies.
Thing is, it's a song about being stranded on a ship, and Austria is landlocked.
I like that.
It is,
Have
yeah.
you, if you let Steph know that Tarzan streaming,
No. Well, Steph's been posting on the online chat. But who knows? Who knows if he saw it or not? I
send
said
a line to Steph.
I don't
Sure.
know.
I can't because the phone's running. Yeah. It's Chris Travel.
I think Steph's probably gone. He's probably gone to sleep. You know, he's
That's Chris Travels, that is.
Yeah, not too far away. DNA.
Chris Travels from Austria.
Yeah.
his mum's Filipino, and his dad's Austrian. He's half Filipino. And the ironic thing is that Filipinos can't sing for shit. Well, from what I've seen on streams, they're all off key. Like, they're all completely off key.
Do you think his dad, like 18 years ago, when he was banging his mom in the Philippines, was saying, "I'm going to create a kid that could win Eurovision"?
Yeah, that's exactly what he was thinking.
Yeah. I'm going to put a stick in your belly.
This is a tribute to Mungers, isn't it?
Yeah. Don't give up hope, mongers everywhere.
You can, if you find
Another town in Austria that I don't know.
so there's a lot of Austrian mongers out there.
Okay, great, nice.
Don't give up hope, EU. You can always go to the Philippines and try to create a baby that's going to win Eurovision in 18
Yeah. He's got a very high-pitched voice. This is the bit that threw me. Yeah.
So Israel finished in second place. Does that mean they lose the war?
Oh, it means it's all political. You'd know better, Ty Z, than me.
No, I actually have no idea. Political
I'd like to
implications.
hear Toronto Brad's perspective.
I haven't seen him for a while. I don't even know if he's been live.
He did a stream yesterday morning at about like 4 a.m. He did a stream at midnight
Midnight U.S. like midnight Eastern. US?
in Canada, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're the same
Yeah.
time.
And then he was like, yeah. And then he was like, open the stream and it was about booking his hotels in Thailand. And then he nearly fell asleep on the stream, like he couldn't open his eyes.
Yeah, that happens to all of us at some point.
And then he was just blinking, and he's just like, I have to close the stream. I have to go to this. Because he works 11-hour days.
Yeah.
11-hour days. Just picking up a forklift and, yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm Chris Travel.
And I will always love you.
I don't know. The thing about that song is it's just his voice. It's all about his voice. But as a song,
Thank you very much. My name's Chris Travels. I've made it.
that's a nice Chris.
Hey?
That's
Oh,
a
no,
nice
you're
sitting room.
You're showing
Yeah.
your
Oh, right. I've still got camera on, yeah.
yeah, you're showing your stuff.
Let's
Nice
turn
sitting-
the camera around. How do I do that?
Well, point towards the ceiling.
I
Just
think you
point
click
towards-
on more, do you? More settings, and you press settings.
yeah, I've done
Then
same
you
now.
go camera. Yeah.
Camera.
And then you go camera.
That's it. That's it. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't get nothing out of that. Mind you, I had an inkling in my head. I didn't like it, but I said I think Austria might do it, didn't I? But that was my
Yeah. Austria, when you think of it, Austria was like his voice is very impressive. You know, like
It kept hanging out at me, saying, it just kept shouting at me, but I didn't like it.
yeah. No, I thought the
So that must have proved something.
what
Right,
was
turn
I
the telly
saying?
down.
Greece was good. Netherlands was good. His song was memorable.
That's it.
He was a black guy from Netherlands.
Yeah.
From
I tried to turn up on my PC, but I think it was feeding back, wasn't it? So I turned it off, and then I couldn't hear it. I couldn't talk to you unless I come straight up to the phone and put my ear against the button.
Oh, okay.
But was it feeding back? A little
at the
bit
very-
earlier?
From the TV, you mean?
yeah,
No, not from the TV, because I tried to have two devices on. One, obviously, so I could hear the chat, but I think I could
having
hear.
two devices on, both with both that have audio running, so like the audio comes out, you'll get feedback to the other one.
Yeah, I think it did while the votes were coming in. Then I turned it off. Then it was all right again. Yeah.
Yeah. So at the very beginning, there was a little bit of feedback, but towards the end, there was no feedback. I think that answers your question.
Hmm. All right. So what do you reckon? Steph's crashed out.
Yeah, he goes to bed about 10 o'clock, I think.
I think he goes to bed times a day.
He's sleeping all the time.
All the time. Well, I'd say he has different schedule because he's not like most people just wake up a certain time and then stays until he wakes up.
Yeah, he's 1 o'clock now, isn't it? Can't believe it's 12 o'clock. They don't normally finish this late.
He can wake up in 2 hours from now, 1 hour from now.
Yeah. They don't normally finish this late, do they, Sean? It's normally finished by 10.
Oh, no. It goes later. Yeah. Oh, shit. I've got to fix my clock up. I put a battery in my clock like 2 months ago, and it's already fucked up.
What sort of clock?
It's just an analog clock that you hang on the wall.
Mm.
Yeah.
Maybe the connection's dirty.
Oh no, it's analog, so it's a double A battery, I think. It's
Yeah, but like the terminal, the
Yeah.
terminals on the clock might be
One double
might be.
A. Yeah, one double A doesn't give that much power. Usually, I see clocks with 2 or 3 double A's.
All right. Okay. So it's going to keep doing that forever.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Or the double A to begin with, the double A already lost some power.
Did you buy it from Temu, Sean?
No, I should have. Everyone's buying things. So what do you think now, Tyzer? You bought all that shit on Temu, and
Yeah.
then Trump changed the tariffs. So
Well, it's still 30%, right?
30%. Yeah,
Yeah, 30% is still pretty high.
that is high. Yeah.
It's not.
Well,
it's not
you must be able to see the difference, Tyze, from the for the price of that little toilet gadget to your price, wasn't it? I think my price was about £5, wasn't it? Something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, mine was like 4, so I think it was probably around the same. Because dollars are cheaper than euros.
Yeah. So what was yours? About $8?
For 2 of them, yeah. For 2 of them, I think it was around $8. I could look at the exact amount if you're interested, but yeah, my gut feeling is it was around $8.
So Crystal Palace won the FA Cup, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw the highlights. It's good to see, Man City go down anytime.
Yeah.
But Crystal Palace are Crystal Palace are a London club, aren't they?
Yeah, South East London. Yeah, it's not far from where I was born.
Oh, right.
I was born around those parts. Well, down the road, Lewisham.
And the Crystal Palace still exists.
No, not the original. The original palace got burnt down in 1930 something, whatever, by fire. No, before that, I think. I can't remember. Because it used to be a big, massive, great big greenhouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a botanic greenhouse. No, it's no Crystal Palace there now. I
thought I read that they moved it somewhere, or they moved.
Kew Gardens. They got a botanic garden.
Yeah.
Kew Gardens in West London. That's got the same sort of thing, but I don't know if it's as big as what the original Crystal Palace was.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome. We have a new guest on. As if one Sean wasn't good enough, now we have 2 Seans.
Oh, we're missing a Sean in Wonderland.
Oh,
Sean in Wonderland.
Yeah, we've been missing him for 5 years.
He is a cool cat, I'll tell you that much. He's the coolest dude.
We got 2 Seans, one Sean the sheep and one Sean the prawn. We all know what Sean the sheep sounds like, but what do you sound like, Sean the prawn?
We share a mother. Sean and I share a mother.
Yeah.
Actually, I did run with that.
Brother with another mother, yeah?
Yeah.
There were people during COVID when I started going on panels that people were asking if me and Sean the Prawn were related. And I just, at one point, I was just like, yep. I was just saying that for like whatever. I'm like, if you think that, then go ahead. And there were people like actually like, I started to like lurk in channels and people were like, Sean the Prawn and Sean the Sheep are definitely related. There's something about, and then some, I think it was Big Boss brought up a point. He was like, well, why are their avatars the same then? They have the same background avatars and stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, we do.
This is what you guys have in common.
This takes me back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were the
back
days.
to our younger years.
It's funny. I promised somebody else I'd go on their panel, and then I saw you guys on, so I came over here.
Boom! How about that? Hold on. I have to show myself for that so I could raise my hands. In
What
the
other
air.
panels do you go on?
I just go to like small channels now, like basically like channels that are fringe channels from the Thai genre and the TTC genre that just get like 6 or 7 people on. Like sort of
So
like
the
go
one-
you know, like go 13 and stuff, and like a few of those, some of those channels.
Do you
They
go
don't
on
really.
WhatsApp? Do you go on WhatsApp Thailand? Do you go on that?
I
Or-
would, but they stream at like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m.
yeah.
my time, so I'm usually in bed. Yeah, but they've asked me a couple times. I tried going on once and I fell asleep on the panel. So it was like 3 a.m. So
Oh, that's a good question, Sean Sheep. Is that the most embarrassing time you fell asleep?
no, I've fallen asleep on panels
Lots of
multiple
times.
times.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not
Rick
even. I'm
Wang
not
even made a video
qualifying it.
about it.
I'm not even qualifying it as on panels because I've fallen asleep before during a production release at work when I was working for JP Morgan. I fell asleep during the,
Oh,
during the
jeez.
release because it
That's
was like
gotta.
it was 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. And I get up I get up at like 5 o'clock to get ready to go to work. But the production release was like it started at 9 and it got delayed to 10. And I was still on. Just I was like saying, "Oh yeah, I'm still here." And then they had to hang up the phone because I started snoring. I started snoring during the production release. So they had to.
I got
they
in
had to
trouble
hang up me
once.
and then have everyone else on again.
I got in trouble once from a board meeting. They called me in with like HR and the boss and management and everything. I had no idea. I got called in, and they were like, "You were
What,
like
you streaming and you was watching porn?
no." They were like, "You weren't engaged enough in the meeting," and I'm like, "What?" Like, okay, and I just went along with it. And they're like, "We're giving you a verbal warning," and I'm like, I didn't get to this day, I still don't get it. And then I'm like,
that sucks because when they say the word enough, it implies that you have certain jobs to do during whatever action it was.
I guess they were like, you had your head down the entire time. And I'm like, I guess technically I did, but does it really matter? Like, I didn't have anything to contribute. Like, it was this pointless fucking meeting. I don't know. It's a bit of a rant. They just brought that up, so I just thought that reminded me of something. And that's how I learned not to like HR.
Fucking HR, they're the worst.
Yeah, why would they?
Yeah, I can never understand. And no offense to anyone that I guess does it, but I just that's probably like one job where you graduate and you go, I'm gonna go to school and become human resources. It's like, why would you want to do? Why would you want to do that? There's no.
Human resources. Actually, human resources is pretty cool because I have a family member that does human resources. That's
hiring and
a
firing,
lot
basically,
about over the years about the the laws, both federal laws and state laws for human resources.
I don't know, Tai Chi.
It's
all they fucking do is go, look, this 3-page application is now 20 pages and apply for a job. And then they're like, and then they hire and they fire, and that's all they fucking do.
Yeah, that's pretty much summed it up perfectly.
So let me tell you what HR is. It's not HR that decides to hire or fire. HR is the gateway to the.
They're the bitches of the hiring and the firing.
They basically
they enforce. They're actually they enforce the laws. They're not the ones that want to hire or fire.
They're like the bishops in a game of chess.
No,
we made Chris leave.
Oh, he'll be back.
He didn't. Chris must have a family member in HR.
Yeah, he's like, no, don't watch this. Don't watch this.
You got to be a heartless prick to be in HR. You know, I'm not.
Yeah, I agree
talking
with
about-
you 100%. And I don't usually like to be so vocal about certain things, but yeah, I just can't see anything good about HR. Like it's just one of those. It's just one of those things where it's like you're just an asshole. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
But they're not. Yeah, but they're not making the laws. They're just enforcing them. They're like the judicial system.
Jesus Christ.
And then
It's like saying they like
If
they
they're
didn't,
not-
they didn't
if
put
they're
the
not
gun
the
in the
judicial-
holster. They didn't shoot the person.
exactly. Yeah, I mean,
They just provided the bullets.
yeah, it's like a politician going, well,
Yeah.
I'm not the one that pulled the trigger to authorize that
Yeah,
drone
exactly.
strike that killed.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's my hands are washed.
But I told him to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's how I see it. No, I'm not trying to. I'm not like. I hear what you mean, Tyson, but I don't.
No,
I don't
like,
know what it is.
I'm trying to figure out if you're saying that HR could make certain things up to get people.
Oh, I think so. Definitely.
I see. I don't see it that way. They're very regulated.
That's why the nickname is called like the work police or whatever. Like they're bureaucratic, in my opinion.
Because managers use HR to try to accomplish things, but HR has
The assholes to micromanage pretty much, or just I mean, they've got their quotas every time they got
bosses micromanage.
When I first came to Ireland in 2005, there was no HR. I got hired by the team leader, the manager. I came over, I started work. It's only in the last 20 years that HR have completely taken over. So if you ask your boss, they go to HR. Go to HR, go to HR, go to HR. It's bullshit.
Yeah, and then when you
go
to HR, it causes even more problems.
Yeah.
That's the last place you want to go when someone says,
like,
go to HR.
They're like, you got to fill in 1,000 forms. You got to fill in 1,000 forms.
I appreciate everything you guys are saying, but my view of HR is totally different. I view them as a way to protect you, and you guys are using it. I view it as a way. You guys view it as a way.
Well, I agree with Sean in the sense too that, like, well, I was still in school in 2005, but like in the last, I would say, from my experience in the last 10 years, it just seems like HR is just like, why does there have to be like a whole department of human resources now when compared to like 10 years before? Like they didn't even really exist, in my opinion. Like my first job was at a grocery store. I never even knew that like about human resources. And then
girls, what is it? Is it a company that gives Girl Scout cookies out?
I don't think so. But those are good cookies. I probably would get caught stealing the cookies, and then HR would go, "Are you stealing the cookies?"
Yes, we know you're stealing cookies because you're playing Jane's Addiction. At the time, you're stealing the cookies.
Actually, when I worked at the grocery store for a short time, everyone would like I'd steal like a bunch of stuff, like not like big things, but like batteries and stuff like knickknacks that you needed. And it turned out everyone was doing it. This coworker caught me one time.
Have you ever stolen toilet paper?
No. That'd be like a new low for me.
They would not want to see
I haven't gone that low.
You're pretty desperate.
What about when you've gotten to a restaurant? Have you ever stolen anything from a restaurant?
No, but I know people that have. I know people that have taken cutlery from restaurants, and I'm like, okay. And I know I was with one guy once that stole a frozen pizza from the grocery store, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, what? He's like, that's my dinner for tonight. And I'm like, you're jacking a pizza? That's okay. And me and my other friend, we were just making fun of him, but he was kind of like, he grew up in like kind of a shitty family, I guess, to put it lightly, but still, it's like, It's like you
I would
gotta.
feel sorry for him if he weighed like 88 pounds, but
No, he was built. He
Oh.
was.
Stolen
Yeah.
bottle spirits. Stolen. I stole about 5 bottles of spirits from a pub one night.
Oh, one time actually, that's a good. I went to the bar once with my brother, and then he went
I
back.
jumped in it.
Sean, you shouldn't have said that because look, Mookie Wilson now doing our White's lemonade advert about you now, but stealing vodka. You ever see that advert years ago? Our White's lemonade.
I think
No,
I've stolen Zambuca.
I'm a secret
I've
lemonade
stolen-
drinker.
Sambuca.
Always lemonade.
Out of all the booze you could have taken, you took Sambuca.
Zambuca, yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, I'll take things out of spite. Like
when you
if they,
drink Zambuca, your spew is black.
yeah. Oh God. See, this is why we have human resources.
And I went to a concert one night and I stole all their singlets. And the next
All the
morning,
what?
this is when I was in college at university.
Oh yeah.
And I stole like a bunch of 20 singlets.
What the rule?
Walked past the cop and walked outside. It wouldn't have been 20. Maybe it was about 15. But then I went back to college to the on campus college I was staying in, and I proceeded to hand out all the singlets. And the next morning, I'd forgotten about it. And the next morning, I went down for breakfast, and all these people were wearing those singlets. I was just like, oh, what happened last night?
Oh, yeah, stealing stuff can be funny.
And then I stole all those bottles of liquor, and I jumped in a taxi, and he drove me all the way back to college. And he said to me, I said to him, how much is the fare? And he said, you can give me a bottle of alcohol instead. And I said, no. No, and I paid the fare. So what I realized in retrospect is that he knew I stole them.
Oh, I think I've had that before too, where like all my friends in teenager years, when you'd steal a bunch of candy and stuff, they all got caught. Yeah. But because I was the smallest guy in the group, for some reason, that I never got called out on it. And I think they were taking pity on me because they thought, I have no idea. Maybe they thought my parents would. I had like the parents that would actually like do something, or I don't know. And, yeah. So, but I never liked. I'm not saying I like doing it. I could actually pay for the stuff. I was just sort of copying what everybody else was doing, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, we forgive you. We forgive, and the Pope forgives you. But don't do
Truth
it. That's what we have to say. Honestly,
Truth Warriors in the chat. I'd like her to come on and tell her experiences of stealing things.
Yeah, she.
I bet you she's stolen a few things. I reckon she has. What do you reckon she's stolen? Tozzy, what do you reckon Truth Warriors stole?
Oh, how about this? What's the last thing you guys have stolen? And I'm sorry if you guys, everyone has to have stolen. Even if you've cheated, Tizzy, you've cheated on your taxes, so that's stealing.
No, because my taxes, I can't claim. You know how you could do all this. If you don't do the standard deduction, you could just lie and stuff.
Well, I don't know. I get an account to do everything.
If you don't do the standard deduction, it's because you're claiming way more than the standard deduction.
Yeah, my account does, like all my write-offs. Sometimes my account won't. Like I'm confused. I'm like, how come you didn't write everything off? And she's like, no. She's like, you got to do it in a. She's like, you can't. There's a certain threshold where they won't go after you or something like that. Yeah, she's good like that.
So I've never like I pay the. I paid
come
the
on the panel. Come on the panel, Truth Warrior.
Yeah, you come on the panel and tell us about your HR experience and how you hate them.
Yeah,
and then
He
and then you
was
stole
gonna-
something from him.
Apparently, my view of HR is way different than both Sean's view of HR is.
Yeah, you've got a socialist position on it.
Oh, no, so, I don't know about that. Like, I view it as they
They're
enforce-
assholes. I agree with Sean
No.
on it. I'm sorry to be so
They
vocal.
enforce the law. It's their job to enforce the law.
No.
Yeah,
They
so
get-
they're power
They
mongers.
get,
Yeah.
well, they get
The Taliban
from-
enforces the law too.
like if you
Yeah.
have a boss, let's say you have a boss in the company that is saying, "Oh, this employee is terrible," blah 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 blah. You know, they have to have proof. They have to show all the proof to HR.
But they don't. It's
They have to.
bureaucratic. It's a whole
Otherwise-
thing. It's like going to court almost. It just depends on who's got more proof than the other, like type of deal. And sometimes it's like like what Sean was saying, there's so many like HR people per department now for wherever there's a company, for whatever company is out there, that it's like, why do you need so many people to tell you you're hired and then now you're fired?
Yeah.
I had a guy say just for an interview once by my last name, he goes, Mr. So-and-so. And I said, yeah. He goes, congratulations. And I'm like, and then I told my girlfriend, I hung up the phone. I told my girlfriend at the time, and I'm like, he told me congratulations. And she's like, did you get the job? And I'm like, no, it was just for an interview. And I didn't get the job afterwards.
I've
I'm like,
actually had interviews where I was absolutely sure I was getting the job, and I didn't. I was like, if you ask me, I was like 95% sure I'm getting this job. The interview went so well, but didn't get the job.
I went through an interview process one time where I went through 3 different HR people. And it was the first of like 3. Supposedly, I didn't get past the first one, but supposed to be 3 interviews for the position. And I'm like, why am I going through 3 people? Like, it's just like one guy's job, I think, was literally just to answer the phone. I don't know. I just think it's absolute horseshit. Hey, Truthy.
Yeah, Truth Warrior's
Yeah.
on.
Hey.
She's here.
And please don't say that you worked as human resources. As one
Yeah,
of your
I want
jobs.
her to say that.
No.
Because
There's,
the way she says it.
But what
Do
I
you want
really
to-
find
you
interesting,
want to hear the HR theme song?
I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
nice.
How about you?
Nice.
The Taliban have their own HR, and Ty Z would approve of it.
Whichever
Both
Sean,
of the Sean's up here, I was thinking I'd hear it sooner than that.
I was supposed to go on somebody else's panel. I feel really bad. He was like, "You want to come up?" And I'm like, "Sure." And then I looked over. I'm like, "Oh, Ty Z's live."
yes, I know. I say the same thing. I'm like, Ty Z's on. And I'm like, yes, I have to stay on that stream.
Yeah,
I
but
will.
I wrote in the chat, I'll be up in a bit, and then I came over here.
Well, it
I
doesn't
feel-
work well. Well, I'll tell you why it doesn't work well. Because sometimes when I tell my wife when we're getting down, I said I'll be up in a bit. It just takes too long.
No, that's the worst analogy ever. You're giving me
Good
like pictures
right?
in my head
Oh.
that I don't want to know about.
Yes.
I was like, damn, if that's what marriage sex is like, I don't want to get married.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree.
Yeah, that's why a lot of men are getting vasectomies are on the rise. Apparently, a bomb went off. Someone just blew up a car bomb in Palm Springs outside of
I saw
fertility.
that. I just saw that about a few minutes ago. It was a car
Yeah.
bomb. They didn't know when I was where I was seeing it. It was
Yeah,
a
no, it's
fertility
they-
clinic, right?
Florida?
Yeah, in Palm
California.
Springs in California.
Yeah,
Oh, California.
yeah.
Yeah, outside a
Mm.
fertility clinic.
Clinic. I saw that. I was like,
Ah, fertility. So
Uh,
that brings up
oh.
The whole.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
they're saying it wasn't. The police are saying it's intentional and it was an act of violence, quote unquote. But they're not saying. It's too early to say. The whole
Well,
deal
the
was.
FBI was over there because guy was screaming walking down the street, and he said FBI. Like, okay.
Yeah, and
But it was.
and then human
was-
resources was next to him. Going, that's what they're like. And instead of the FBI jacket, they should have jackets on and say HR coming into the office all of a sudden. Sean, you gotta come
You're
meet us
busted.
later. Yeah. I've worked in jobs before where people have like radios and stuff too, and they announce on the radio so everybody else can hear. Sean, can you come into the office later? And HR is going to be there, and everyone's like, "Ooh!" It's like being called to the principal's office.
Mhm.
Like
Oh,
being,
yes. And the same
it's like
thing
being
in
in
high
a police lineup.
in high school, if you drop something, if you drop like silverware or a tray, and everyone in the high school in the cafeteria goes, "Ooh!"
Yeah. Then you
I
get caned.
didn't eat in the cafeteria. I ate outside.
So did I.
Way
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
My cafeteria was crap. They had
Yeah.
nothing healthy in it. Because they were basically just trying to make money off of it, I think, at one point. Because no kids are gonna eat apples and stuff like that. It's funny though, after I graduated, then they started to slowly change it to put like healthy options on there. And I'm like,
is high
great.
school.
I'm like, thanks a lot.
This is high school, so you're talking 30 years ago.
No, to like mid 2000s, 2005, 2006, I'd say.
In high school?
Yeah.
Oh shit, you're so young. Damn it. I thought you were at least.
No, I'm in my 30s.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
Are you
You're in your
living wrong?
30s.
but I feel, well, I'm getting gray hair now. It might be the drinking. Or it just might be the
No,
drinking.
I would say gray hair comes number one if you're married and not happy. Number two, kids.
How much
They
gray
actually part your hair. You have one kid, gray hair on one side. Number two kid.
I'm getting
gray
it on
hair
the sides, like around the ears and stuff. And now like when like guys get like the trend is like to get the sides shaved, like shorter than the top. So it like shows a lot more when I get my haircut done.
That's what Ron does.
Yeah, I think Ron probably dyes his hair though, or he just has good genes. I don't know. The person that does my hair, she says you get some people get gray hair in their 20s. Some people get.
I remember someone in high school. He was on the wrestling team. He had gray hair in high school.
How old was he?
18.
He died when he graduated.
Was he 52? Was he?
No, I do remember him getting gray hair, and like I felt bad for him. I wasn't a friend or anything, but I do remember seeing gray hair at like 18 years
So you
old.
let him beat you on the mat.
Oh, there's no way I could beat him at wrestling. I would say of the 300, including girls, of the 300 people in our high school graduation, I probably could have beat like 100 of them, and that's including girls.
Did you guys have co-ed gym?
Yes, and it was the best thing ever because when you started gym, they all had to do like push-ups, which includes girls without bras on.
But yeah, no, we never had that.
Yeah.
But we never had like I know in some of the shittier like schools, no like AKA no offense to Ron, but I'm sure like they had like classes where it was just for like the pregnant women, like gym just for the women that were pregnant.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, no, because same with me
Maybe,
because
maybe
we never had anyone. I think we had like one girl that got pregnant and she disappeared.
Yeah.
And yeah, so but that would be I think push-up bras were actually illegal, from what I remember, because a lot of the girls in high school I remember they were like, "Oh, they get to wear push-up bras in their gym class, and we don't," or something like. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. Let's go back to HR.
Yeah, no.
We don't want to talk about push-up bras, drinking beer through straws.
we all know someone that fell pregnant at school, don't we?
Sorry, say that
No,
again.
Who knows somebody at school that got pregnant?
not me.
Not me.
In school?
high school.
I know. I think I sort of knew someone, but that's like was a rumor because she disappeared. So
Actually, I do know someone that got. They weren't from my high school, but I do know someone that got pregnant in high school.
Yeah.
But it wasn't my high school, and I didn't.
was
know
it a man?
No, it wasn't anyone in my high school or someone I knew at the time. Someone I found out later that I knew later. So it can happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually know the kid too. I know the kid.
I know people that got
He's like 30 years old.
pregnant like right after high school. And it's kind of for someone that doesn't have kids, it's just kind of weird now thinking it's like, wow, it's like they would be.
Yes. You're using your age to say, wow, this is how old they would be right now.
Yeah, like if it's and it, like they're born after 9/11 and stuff, and they don't know what 9/11 was, and it feels funny because people like sometimes you hear like people like my age, they talk about like not my age, but like the older generation, they go, oh, the moon landing was this and blah blah blah. I go, yeah, whatever, because I wasn't around for that, but I remember 9/11 as a kid, waking up in the morning and to hear now that there's kids now that are traveling and they're graduating and they don't know what 9/11 was. It's just it's like kind of weird. I'm like, man, I'm an old guy.
Yeah, even before 9/11, remember the Oklahoma City bombing?
I kind of remember that. I remember the Bill Clinton sex thing. That was like when I was a kid, and when my Thanksgiving, I remember my whole family was like talking about it, and I just have that etched in my mind, and I had no idea, right? But that was what everyone would talk about, I guess, every night when they come home. I did not have sexual relations, and now he's admitting to it. And I had that etched in my mind that Bill Clinton's a loser.
Did he admit to Monica Lewinsky? Did he? Or
well,
I think he did.
He first said, he first said no. Then the second thing was he said after the dress came out.
Yeah, and this ties in. This is a perfect example of why HR is a pile of shit, because if HR was around, Bill Clinton would have been fired. But because he's got HR working for him.
No, government has nothing to do with.
Yes, they need to have HR as well.
I remember the prosecutor was Kenneth Starr. It has nothing to do with HR. HR is bound.
I'd be if I had a blowjob in my office and I got called out for it, HR would be all over. And
really,
and, I don't mean that in a literal way.
All over, or because they were hot girls that just wanted you to?
Nah, they're usually Karens. I've never seen a
Karen. Monica Lewinsky stated that she had 9 sexual encounters with President Bill Clinton in the Oval Office.
Yeah, very popular.
Wow.
In 1995 and March 1997. According to her testimony, these encounters involved oral sex and other sexual acts, but not sexual intercourse.
Right. And if Bill Clinton's smart, he probably did not do that.
Well, if it's sexual acts, but it's not sexual intercourse, then what the hell is it?
Well, so that gets into the
was it anal sex?
Should we treat every single thing the same? Right.
Here's a good quiz.
Actually gets into interesting.
We made Chris leave again.
Here's a good quiz. How old was Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. How old were they both?
She was
When-
around 18. He was
Yeah,
around,
I think she was in her early 20s.
maybe
I
he
think.
might have been earlier. He may not have been 50. He may have been 40, maybe 45, 45.
45?
She
Gonna
she
lock,
was she was around
you gonna
18.
lock that in?
I'll lock in 45 and
Lock in 45. And how old was she?
I'll guess around 18. I don't know for sure. I'm just
Well, you can't go over though. If you go over, then
no,
you're
this is not
automatic.
the price of right. This is not the
Yes,
price.
it is. It is.
45.
No, it's not the
Truth
price of right.
Warrior, you're up
It's
next.
the absolute value
45
that
and how old was she?
I bid
She-
21.
I'll guess
How
like
old was
19 because he says 21. I'll
19.
say 19.
45 and 19. Okay.
Ah,
And it-
19. Boom.
You're not far off. You're not far off. Sean, what do you lock in? How old was Bill Clinton and how old was Monica Lewinsky?
Well, Monica Lewinsky, I said 21. Bill Clinton, I would say 47.
Really?
47. That's locked in.
president? He became
Okay.
president.
Warrior, how old was Monica Lewinsky and how old was Bill Clinton when the dirty acts occurred?
I think she was in her 20s. I'd say probably 23.
23?
She
I
bids
guess-
$1.
Bill.
And him?
Yeah, how old was he?
I think he was probably like 48.
48.
49.
Wow.
Yeah.
These are really good results. So Tyson has said Bill was 45 and Monica was 19. Sean says 47 was Bill and 21 was Monica.
Yeah.
And Truth Warrior says 48 for Bill and 23 for Monica. So the actual result is that Bill Clinton was 49.
Oh.
Wow.
So close, yeah. And Monica Lewinsky was 22. So you're all really
Oh, okay.
22.
Well,
Okay,
yeah.
but now we
So
have
we all lose because we
now
were
we need to debrief this because of the age gap, which is the age gap is 27 years.
well, that's normal.
20
Well,
years.
For Rich Guy and younger, yeah, 27 seems normal.
I don't know about that, but
27 years.
Yeah.
Distance.
I would call that more of a fetish than a normal thing. Do you
Yeah.
guys remember Anna Nicole Smith? I don't know if Sean the Prawn does. It
I
was
do.
more of a
I absolutely do remember her.
Was she with the girl with the big boobies?
She was unlike the other 100-year-old.
Girl with the boobies.
She was the
Yeah.
girl with the big boobies and married some guy in a wheelchair. That was
Yeah.
like about the croak.
So
Yeah.
bring it back to the discussion. Is 27 years difference? Is that okay with you, and why not?
No, I don't think it's okay. And I wouldn't think it's okay the other way around, although it would be kind of. Well, I mean, we could talk. Where's Ron when you need him? It isn't Ron doing something like that right now.
How about that?
Yeah.
Where's-
how old
where's
is
Bill
how old is
Belichick
his
when
lady
you need
friend?
it?
Is that truth or is that
This
okay?
is more of a Bill Belichick question.
Isn't she like 60 or something? And he's like
I s-
44?
He showed a glimpse of her on cam once, not her face, but like her hand, and she had one of those arthritis wrists on her hand. I'm not even joking. I knew it was an arthritis thing because my aunt had one of those when I was younger.
What
And
is
I'm
it, a
like,
copper bracelet?
yeah, something. It was like one of those like wrists for. I remember when I was young, I asked my aunt, I'm like, "What's that?" She's like, "It's for my arthritis."
Yeah.
She's like, "I've."
Arthritis, but it's really when you have to jerk off someone and you have to go. through it. That's what Sean's
He
trying
got
to say.
arthritis from jerking him off. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she got it. Yeah, she got
He
it
brought-
approved.
he brought
There were
her stuff.
benefits. HR approved.
Yeah.
I still think she's about late 50s at the youngest. I think she's like 60.
Well, that was
young.
yeah.
I think she's in her 60s, like early 60s. That's
Yeah,
what I think
she-
she is.
late 50s, I imagine.
Yeah,
it was
at
19
least she's at least mid-50s. She sounds like it, and plus just the way with the arthritis and stuff.
22 in 1985 means she was 19. 73.
She was definitely pre-moon landing. No pun intended. If there
1973.
was a pun.
She
Well,
was.
I do like it.
yeah.
I'm trying to connect the planet Uranus to that, but I have not been able to do
Uh,
it yet.
Yeah, I got you on that one. We're gonna have to tell HR about that joke. Call you in. I know someone that, going back to the HR thing. Sorry, it's changed. I know someone that got called into the office because we were talking, and he said, "What are your?" There was three of us. What's your plan for the weekend? He says, "Oh, I'm gonna bang. Thinking about going out. I'm gonna try and bang this chick." And then he got called into the office. They said you used a derogatory term in the office earlier, and he was confused. They said,
used
"quote
chick, right?
unquote." Yeah, they said you used chick, and then they sent him home for the day. And he was like, "Yo, fuck that shit." But he's like, "At least I'm getting paid for the rest of the day."
Ah, that's awesome.
But yeah, I personally don't think that that's bad. I mean, you guys might disagree, but
No, I don't think so either. I don't think the word bang should be used.
well, no, it wasn't bang. It was chick. That was apparent. That's what he said.
Oh no,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think.
So language changes so often. I agree. I agree that in the context it was said from one person to another, and someone else heard it. It should not be used as.
I yawned once in front of this woman at work, and she yelled at me. She was like showing me something on the computer, and she was a crank, and I wasn't yawning. It wasn't like an exaggeration or something. I literally just and she flipped out on me, and because she was more senior, if I went and said something, it would have caused a big shitstorm. And apparently she had been just moved around from department to department because of the way she was. But that's one of the reasons HR is just bureaucratic, and it'll never work.
I'm starting to get a picture of why you think HR is acting the way that.
I just think it's a shitty job. It's just pointless. There's no satisfaction to it. You don't go home at the end of the day going, "Wow, I earned my paycheck" or something like that. I mean, it's just.
Yes. So you are right in that respect, because it's it's like accounting. I'll explain what I mean why HR is like accounting. Neither one of them actually bring income into the company. They're both as you would call it, necessary evils. Especially if you're in sales, you would think that, oh, it's the people in sales that bring all the money in the company, but yeah, we have to have these two departments called HR and accounting. They're both necessary evils. So that's actually a very common thing to call those two.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying, but I would disagree.
They have necessary functions. Whether the people are intelligent enough to preserve what they should be doing, that is the thing. Because the laws in the US change, both from the accounting front and HR front. They do change a lot.
Tyzy, do you have a hard-on for HR?
Oh, not at all. No, I'm a software engineer, so I have no
No, I'm just
towards HR or accounting. I can understand. Yeah, I can understand why they do the work that they do. But it sounds like you got the raw end of the deal.
No, I've been through multiple millennials, if you know that term, go through.
And I got a lot of friends in education and family, and they all hate HR. All they do is hold up everything.
Yeah, it's a bureaucratic job, and I don't understand why they need so many of them for for small companies and stuff too, and
Well,
even for
small
public
companies, they
agencies
should
and
not
stuff
need.
like.
Yeah, they shouldn't need so many for small companies.
Yeah, it's that inflation. I'm getting a bit too political, but that inflated
Well,
hiring
we have
for
inflation.
jobs that don't mean anything. You know, I'm a big believer on cutting down on government positions. Not to go deeper into that, but if you know what I mean.
Libertarian, Sean.
Yeah, I would say I'm a more of a libertarian sort of. I'll never agree. I'm more of a populist. I like that term. That's sort of a new term that I wouldn't. I don't mean that as in like I'm waving a Trump flag outside of my
Okay, that's
house
what I
or
want to
something.
know. I might have had to just delete you.
No, I'm definitely not like that because there's things that I don't even in this first term that I disagree with. I don't like a lot of his foreign what do you call it?
How about sending U.S. citizens out of the country? But I don't.
Well,
I don't.
I don't really feel like getting into the whole.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to get it.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. But if you and I start talking, Truthy and Sean will disappear.
You know who will appear? The Taliban.
Yeah, with HR.
You know it's bad when the Taliban has to be the mediator between us, and they're sending in their HR. Then you know it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty much, and that's sort of how it goes. I think we are in negotiations with the Taliban again, because
Well, we are with Iran.
I think we're in negotiations with the Taliban as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I actually I don't know the Afghanistan policy right now.
Not like as much as Iran, but I think because
I do know that in 2000 when Trump took the presidency the first time, he said, "Oh, this deal with Iran for the whole making sure they don't create nuclear weapons. We're going to drop that because it's a terrible deal." But now he's making a deal that's the exact same deal that Obama did during his first presidency. Like, yes, we're going to make a deal.
Yeah, something's not.
Yeah, that's what's happening right now.
There's something going on behind the scenes, and I don't think it's a bad thing. But like, for example, like he renegotiated NAFTA, but now he's after Canada. So it's like, what was the whole point of renegotiating NAFTA? If you're,
but what it should be, should I say interesting? Should be interesting in this whole thing is that we would know based on how many nuclear sites that they have, how much they could actually enrich. We would know. It's a mathematical formula.
They let international inspections in. Iran does.
But the thing was, did they lead them to all the sites? That was.
I'm sure they do because it's happened before where I think it was Libya or somewhere.
Maybe everyone's gone.
What was that? Sorry. HR is gay.
I can't believe I'm on the wrong end of this HR argument. Because obviously
you probably had HR having your back.
Yeah, no one likes HR. Why? How the fuck did I get this? Like an hour ago, I was cutting the grass, and no thought in my mind was like, "Oh, I'm going to support HR tonight."
I would like to cut the grass today, but it's raining. It needs cutting.
Yeah, mine does too.
Today was the first day it actually did not rain, and I was able to get to start to cut the grass. I didn't.
Were any of you guys in the tornado area last night?
No.
Yeah.
I did have dinner. My wife made dinner for me, so I'm going to show you guys what it is. You're going to
Oh.
laugh. You're going to laugh, but okay.
Cold hot dogs in the sink.
Oh, if it was only that easy.
Did any of you guys watch Charlie earlier? I was watching him.
What's he doing?
He booked a flight to what is that? That's the hell is that?
Yeah,
Looks
it's garlic.
That's
Yeah.
it looks like prison food.
Yeah. This is what I get to eat tonight.
You remind me of my brother. He's like, welcome to marriage life.
Yeah.
I'm not being sorry. I don't mean to be. Not trying to be rude. He's like, you'll know, Sean, if you ever get married. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I want to get married, but I don't want to get married. I want to get married, but I don't want to get married.
If you have any doubt, if you want to get married, you should never get married. Like, it shouldn't even be a 60%, 40% thing. It should be a 95, 5% thing.
But I don't want to die alone. I mean,
you won't. You'll die with all the nurses around you giving you medication.
I'll probably die of like a heart attack or something or I don't know, wake up in the morning or
if you're not
alcoholism
married,
or who knows.
Yeah,
they always give alcoholism a hard time, but it's like, hey, it's like that's the way of going out.
Yeah,
you don't have to suffer.
You're clear. You're clear of that.
I remember my grandma. She spent like 2 weeks in the hospital, like going out, and I was like,
only 2 weeks.
It's a rough guess, but it was at least 2 weeks. Yeah, it was probably more like a month, and then they told her that she was good to go back home, but then a day later, this was during COVID, they brought her back to the hospital because she couldn't stand properly, and then they decided to put her in the hospice, but as they moved her to the hospice, she passed away. Yeah. So, but she was old, you know, she lived a long life. Oh, we lost Truthy. I think my conversations are not the best when I come on here.
Yeah, she lost sound. It's unlikely to be from you. But I just told her, just reboot and try again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, exactly. Chris left too.
And hopefully
Chris been stuck with me and Todd.
An email from her company saying, "Come and join HR."
Yeah, no, I would never join. If I had a child and he or she said, "I'm going to become HR," I'd be like,
that's interesting because I do enjoy this because my views on HR are they're not positive, they're not negative, they're just kind of like it is what it is.
I think it's a non-needed thing, to be honest. 100%.
Oh, I think it's absolutely needed.
Why?
Because in companies, bosses could do things to employees that are very, very bad, that the bosses don't even know are bad.
But they do that. They just have HR do it for them. They're like the bishops in chess.
And HR should be the stopgap to say, no, you should not have done this.
But they don't.
That's a part that's never happened to you.
Yeah, I've been on the shitty end of the side of things where it's like, what the hell is this crap?
Did you sue and you were able to?
Well, once I did kind of, but then you got to go into the whole lawyer thing and stuff, and yeah, and
the number
technically, if you're in a union environment too, your union's legally supposed to represent you. They've got lawyers as well and stuff, and it's just you're just better off in this day and age with passive income and opening up your own business. And,
passive income. If you could have, if you ask people, is it better to have active income of 1,000 a week or passive income of 500 a week? Like a lot of people would say 1,000 is better than 500, so that's better. But we all know 500 passive income is way better than 1,000 active.
Is it?
Oh God, yeah.
I would think so. Yeah, it's much better on your
Not-
health
not even
too.
close. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to drive into the city, which wasn't so bad. Now that the traffic just over the last 10 years just gets worse and worse, it's not worth it from where I am going into the city. And I go, oh, thank God I don't have to do that anymore. So in a way, HR kind of helped.
Now you're supporting HR. Damn it.
Bloody
In a
hate.
negative, in the sarcastic way, I'm supporting HR.
Yeah, like, and I don't support HR. Like my degrees are in both in electrical engineering. It had nothing to do with HR.
Yes, you
Right.
No, nothing to do with HR. But I would
do.
I've heard based on family working in HR, all these different issues, which seem to be a little different from the way you guys describe them. Because in bigger companies, HR issues can be a little bit different from the way you're just not from the way you're describing, but from the way HR is prescribed to handle them.
I don't know. It's a bureaucratic.
Well, how about this? Deciding between if someone is eligible as an exempt employee versus a non-exempt employee. Like, which means you get overtime for working over 40 hours a week versus don't get overtime.
Yeah, but the government laws already state that, like, that's already a thing. So HR becomes irrelevant at that point.
That's not how the government law has nothing to do with it. It has to do with state law.
Well, okay, same thing. State government, that is just a lower level of government.
Yeah. Even then, it actually depends on certain things like what is your title, and not just what is your title, but how many people do you direct, or even within that, like it actually gets into certain details, like what is your job function, and each state has to do that. So having HR actually makes sense to be able to decipher that.
Chris, can you help us out here?
Hey, MF Chris, how you doing, buddy?
Good day, everybody.
Hey, we're
Hi,
talking
Chris.
about how shitty HR is, but Tizy loves HR.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know why I'm taking the losing position here of HR.
Because it's a pile of crap.
No, we should never view it that way.
It's just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
But
HR is in human resources.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Okay.
So it deals with all the terrible things that employers do, but the HR.
No, see, you're being biased. They're supposed to deal with all the terrible things, but they're also supposed to help the employees as well.
They should.
They're just the work police, but they're very bureaucratic, and it's just, I don't know. I don't want to go into it. It's kind of a boring conversation. Let's talk about girlfriend stories.
I like that better.
You know what they're like when I worked in schools as a counselor, you'd have the counselors and then you'd have the psychologists who are counselors as well. And the psychologists would just produce 20-page reports. And I had to do that as well. But like, I limited it to 2 pages because I knew the parents wouldn't read through 20 pages. But anyway, so yeah, so they basically hid behind their tests, so they could never see clients for individual counseling or whatever. Instead, they produce 20-page tests and go, your child is disabled and whatever. And yeah, it was just, like, it's funny that, like, people get really the thing for me, the struggle for me is understanding how much they got involved in just the pure testing when you could screen them very quickly and work out whether there was a disability or something. And
Right.
they'd all the time in their office coming up with the tests and the report and everything like that. And the people, like, while the clients were being neglected, like, and they had simple issues, and only about 10% of those were to do with IQ or disability. But they do that to every single client. They follow that process. It just used to piss me off because I would get referred, all the clients that needed to see something, but they just, like, stayed in their office and just did the reports. They weren't people. Like,
Right.
they were.
Yeah. We're all I think humans come from no, we made Chris leave. He did.
Try,
he was
try.
he was on for about 2 seconds, and then Sean the Prawn story made him.
Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it.
So we've now made 3 people leave the panel. Oh, sorry. I don't mean to be rude. Yeah, no. I forgot what I was gonna say. Now, damn it! It was a response.
We'll be right back. Be right back. Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna come back. So
Yeah, shoot, I forgot what I was. Yeah, sorry. I got.
HR.
No, it was something to do with what the story you were telling. I had
Yeah, just like it became. And do you know what happened was psychologists took over everything, and all I do is like. I remember when I went to college, and even before, like, it's university. Even before then, I'd kind of cottoned on, to. I studied both. I studied psychology in another area, and then, well, I did two degrees, and then I did a teaching degree, and yeah, it was just like anything I do with psychology. Their wonder, their wonderful thing was to put up a chart and go this, and this.
Yeah, I did police foundations, and there was a brief part of that where they brought in a psychologist, and it was to teach people about when they were putting up the charts. I don't know if it relates to anything what you're saying, but
Yeah, totally.
like how people think, kind of like how human brains work, and how some people will see things one way. And it was basically to teach you about nothing is black and white, and how you have to use your discretion, and people will, like, we come from gorillas. That's like our family line of animals, and we're basically lazy to a certain degree, and everybody just doesn't know how to. Everyone's just lazy. That's all I can say, pretty much. Yeah, if that makes any sense to what you're trying to say.
Oh, well, what I'm saying is that
That was a Sean and Wonderland story. Sorry. Go
that
ahead.
I did all science at school. I did physics, chemistry, and high maths.
Oh, I was terrible at all that stuff.
Yeah, I wasn't that good, really. But
You're smart if you could do all that. I was horrible at all of that stuff.
I completely fucked up in chemistry because I'm colorblind, and
Oh,
so all
yeah.
the results, like, I was the person reading the results, and I got them all wrong. But yeah, physics. I actually didn't mind chemistry, but I was colorblind, so it just really Just didn't really help.
I just can't do numbers for some reason. Thank God cell phones changed. That was probably the one good thing about my generation was the cell phone came out just as like graduation was coming. And they'd always say in high school, when you're doing, math and, what do they call it? A square plus B square equals C square and all that stuff. And I had to get like a tutor actually at one point. My parents got me a tutor because I was just struggling so hard with the math and stuff. And they'd always go, "Well, you're never gonna have a calculator, so you have to do all this in your head." Well, lo and behold, everyone has a calculator on them now. So
Yeah.
funny how things change, how wrong people can be. You know,
Do you
like
the big calculator for school and had all these functions like pi and
yeah,
everything.
yeah. I forget what it was called, but
It was like
calculus.
you
or-
treated that better than gold. That calculator.
Yeah, and it was when the school that I went to, it was mandatory to have it, and they made you pay for it, and it was expensive. And
Yeah.
now, apparently, those, unless you're doing a job, like I think you're going into programming or something where you got to know that stuff. That's the only thing where you need those calculators now. But I forget what they were called. Ty Z might know, but yeah. I remember those things. I hated just the memories. Just I hated math. I had a really good math teacher though. He was really kind to me. Yeah. He sort of knew that I struggled a bit.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't like an ass. Like I wasn't like an asshole of a kid. I actually wanted to learn and do good. I had a lot of pressure from my parents, but I just with math. Oh my God. And calculus and stuff and all that. Ooh, that was horrible. I just can't do numbers. To this day, sometimes I'll even like to double check myself if I'm doing like, okay, 7 times 7 or something like that. I'll just quickly do it on my fingers, like I'm just making sure that I have it right, or
Yeah.
whatever it may be.
Fingers are handy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ironic.
Mm-hmm.
They're even on your hand. They're that handy. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of weird too because when you travel, maybe because it's stuck so much in my head too. Like one of the things I do when I travel is I'll research the currency conversion to whatever
Yeah.
country I go to, and that's one of the first things I'll do is I'll quickly pick that up when I travel to a different country. At first, like the first couple transactions, because a lot of countries that I'd like to go to is still mostly cash, and so you just sort of you go what like when I first went to Vietnam, for example, I had no idea about the dong, the currency.
Yeah.
And so I'd go and I'd buy like a beer and I would open up my wallet and I go, I don't know. And I would open up my wallet with the bills in there and the people in Vietnam they're generally very nice and they would take out the money and then they would put the money back in my wallet, whatever it costs. Usually it'd be about 10,000 dong, which is like $1 American dollar for one beer. Sometimes it would be 20,000, which is like, I think it's like $1.50 or something like that. I don't know. But people were generally very good, but I picked up on that really quickly where I could start doing it on my own. So if there was any one time this taxi driver tried ripping me off, it was only for like $30 American, but it was like 500,000 dong, like over 500,000 dong. He had his meter rigged, and he said when I went to pay him, I was really drunk. I went to give him the money and it was raining outside and he started tapping on the mini, went, no, no, no. And I got angry and I went, no, no, no. And he goes, okay, okay. Like, cause I knew what like the price was already. I still
Yeah.
ended up giving him a little bit more than what the amount should be, but as long as I know, then you know, then I don't know.
I'm not
Not
the
really
last
big.
one. The time before, the taxi guy, and Vietnam's great in Saigon because you just get a taxi from the airport into Saigon. But
Hmm.
so I caught a taxi, and I knew, and when I was chatting with the guy on the plane, and he said that I asked him, like which taxi service should I use, and he said the green and white ones,
Okay.
them. But then he drove me all the way because I was in District 1 in
Right.
Saigon, in near that old market. He drove me into the hotel, and I handed him more than I need to hand him. I said, "Where's
Okay.
the?" He
To
took it. He didn't
uh
give me any,
to
and then
change. Yeah.
he handed me a coin. Went, okay,
Okay.
and
They don't.
then
Yeah.
yeah, my friend was there to meet me, and he said to me, "There's no coins in Vietnamese currency."
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no at all.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that one before. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah.
freak.
You get sometimes I'll do the taxi thing, like just kind of taxis are one of the biggest things that'll get you used to any new country that you go to because they're one of the biggest scammers and hustlers, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
And so you get used to where so you'll start to sort of trolling, I guess is a I don't know if that's the right term, but you troll them back kind of where you sort of mess with them a little bit too when they say where are you
hang
from?
up,
And no
hang
matter
me up,
what yeah, like you could say you're from
frustrate. Yeah,
Ireland, but technically you could also say you're from Australia, or you could say, like or you're from South Africa. And when you say South Africa, yeah, they might go, oh, okay, yeah, I've got that accent, in your head. They might think, oh, okay, so you don't have as much money, but they'll do this thing where, oh, well, I've seen a lot of taxi drivers do this. They go, oh, I've seen people from America. I've seen people from the EU, from Hungary, from Australia, from Canada, but I've never seen anyone from Singapore. So, yeah, I collect. I like to see different currencies. So basically, they're asking for a tip, right? That's
yeah.
when I usually don't tip. Yeah, so I don't know. Some people say I'm a cheap ass. I just don't like people ripping me off. That's even if it's for like 10 cents.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, kind of a
Yeah, you get sick of Bangkok when you hop in the taxi, meter, 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 and
yeah.
every time you have to ask for the meter. Like
Mm.
and
Yeah. I'm planning on going to I'm thinking about going to Turkey. I've never been before.
oh, okay,
And I've been researching a little bit online and people are saying like good luck with the taxis because no matter what happens, you're gonna get ripped off. And even they have Uber over there, but even with Uber, you're still going to get ripped off. Because what
oh,
happens is you get into the Uber and then they cancel it and then they argue with you. They'll say, you got to pay this price or get out of the vehicle type of deal. Like it's sort of like you have no choice type of deal. Yeah.
Holy crap.
Uh,
I've been talking for the last 10 minutes and didn't realize I had myself on mute and stop cam. So I
oh,
apologize for that. I was wondering, like, why are you guys just ignoring me over the past 10 minutes? But
we
it's
thought
my own fault.
we thought you were eating.
Yes.
I thought, I thought,
I
I
actually
thought
feel very embarrassed right now because I just look at them like, what? Wait, I just started talking about Turkey and they're still ignoring that? Yeah.
I
It's my
thought
own fault.
I thought you were busy with Monica Lewinsky.
No. It has to be, it may even be more than 10 minutes when I went to the bathroom. So I'm
Yeah, it
sorry.
was around 10 minutes. I saw you
Ah,
go on mute and I just assumed that
yeah.
you were busy doing
I was
something.
talking. I was talking like 5 minutes ago. I'm like, why are they still ignoring me?
Yeah, because I think Chris
turns
came
out-
backstage too, and I didn't say anything.
Yeah, it
and
turns
then
out it's my own fault. I put myself on mute and stop cam. So I will say something about Turkey because Turkey is an interesting country that is going through a huge amount of inflation. So
Mhm.
prices in Turkey, which might have been good 2 months ago, are no longer good. And
Yeah,
those
I had a
2
friend
months
tell me
ago-
that.
Yeah, those 2 months ago were kind of good 2 months before that, but they are no longer good. Like the amount of interest inflation Turkey's going through is probably let's ignore
Iran.
countries like South Sudan. Let's ignore countries like Syria. There's like countries.
Yeah, they've got hyperinflation.
They've been really hit hard by inflation.
Yeah, I know Iran. I think is the top when it comes to currency hyperinflation. Or Venezuela actually was really bad.
Venezuela and the one Argentina and
Oh yeah, Argentina's.
Argentina, Venezuela, and someone else has really been.
I read
There's an
it
African
actually.
country. There's an African country that has hyperinflation. I forget which one it is. Congo or something.
I'm not sure.
So in South America, it's absolutely Argentina and Venezuela, and I think Argentina's got hit the hardest because they've had to like rechange their currency. They don't even use their currency much anymore.
Apparently, I read actually like a couple of weeks ago, Argentina was a very wealthy country back in the day.
Oh, it absolutely was. Oh,
like
yeah,
it was like first world.
Wealthy. Yeah, it was in the absolutely in the G20, one of the 20th wealthiest countries.
But yeah, apparently it went to shit because whether it's the socialist policies or who knows, the Falkland Island War. I don't know.
Oh, I do remember the Falkland Islands War. Wasn't the best thing for either UK or Argentina. It should have never happened.
Yeah, I have a feeling the UK would have given the Falkland Islands back if it wasn't for that. But
I did hear that Donald Trump just posted he is the reason the Falkland Islands did not become a bigger disaster. So thank you, Donald Trump, for saying that.
What, in 1983?
Yes, he was only 50 years old at the time, but yeah.
I've just Sean, I've driven around Turkey, so if you want to know where to go.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm planning on just staying in not Ankara, but what's the big city?
Do you know?
Got a brain.
Istanbul?
Yeah, Istanbul on the Asian side, because apparently the European side is just a big tourist trap, and I'm not a big fan of being in touristy areas.
The palace is in Istanbul.
Oh, you mean the Blue Palace?
No, that's the Blue Mosque.
Right.
The palace. There's the Blue Mosque, and then there's Sophia, whatever it is, right beside it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I might check that stuff out. I'm more of a.
This is amazing. And when you go out to the balcony on the palace, you can see all you see is oil rigs going through the strait.
That's what that's what I want to. I like stuff like when I travel.
Yeah.
I don't like going to like tourist attractions type of deal. Like each city has like a tower or something. Like I'm not a big fan of that type of thing. I like to eat locally as long as it's clean, and I like to drink beer and just sort of and then just sort of watch the world go by in a different part of the world, and I want to see like the warships and stuff if I can catch that, like going up the the channel there, the river, and just sort of see that there's two parts. Like there's the European side and there's the Asian side.
So what you see is a whole line of oil tankers coming through because there's oil coming all through there. And then they go through. It's not the Bosphorus Strait, is it? Is it the Bosphorus?
Oh, if they're
Yeah,
going
I think.
to Turkey, yeah.
Yeah. And then you've got Eastern. See, all if you hang around on the coastline, it's all Western. But if you go to Ankara, it's totally different. You know.
Oh,
And
okay. Yeah.
yeah, very.
I don't think I'm gonna go to. Usually, when I go to a country for the first time that I've never been before, I just stay in the main city at first, and then like I don't know, I've done that with Vietnam and Thailand and a few other places, and then if I like it, I'll go back, and then I sort of venture out a little bit, but yeah, I don't know about Ankara because I think they got some terrorist stuff going on, or I don't know, but
Yeah, you could
not
be
that.
bombed second. Yeah.
But I've been to countries before where apparently now on the US, like I was watching Cheap Charlie's earlier, and the US list of countries not to travel to, it's like exploded. It's like
Yeah.
more than like
because the
quadruple.
world. Yeah, the world is exploded.
But you know what that means for health insurance? Like if you get health insurance when you travel,
I
it
don't
means
think the US puts that out based on what they would think.
no, yeah, no. Apparently, it depends on what type of health insurance I think you get. But if you go to a country that has a travel advisory that's a certain level, your health insurance is void because they basically said you shouldn't have gone there in the first place.
Does it matter? Does it matter? If you've already signed a deal, I do not think they could break the deal.
I think it depends on. Well, no, that's after you've signed the deal, though. Yeah, you're right. But if they put the travel advisory out, like for example, during COVID,
then it may be hard to get travel insurance. But yes,
yeah,
right,
like you can still buy it. They'll still take your money. You can still get travel insurance, but you may not be covered if something happens.
Yeah,
yeah, like
that makes sense.
Like if you admit, like for example, if anything to do with alcohol, and you have to put sorry about that, and you have to put a claim in, they'll deny your fucking asshole.
They might deny it. Yeah.
So why Turkey?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Why are you going to Turkey?
I don't know. Just a new country. Never been there before.
Oh,
I think I've been to.
I know where he's going to Turkey.
It's better than chicken.
I'm not going to say it.
I think I'm thinking what you're thinking, Tazi.
Yeah.
Why did Turkey cross the road? Because he thought he was.
Well, there's one thing that Turkey is pretty famous for.
Yes.
Sorry.
What? I'm confused on this one, guys.
Damn, Shaun the Sheep. Now you're gonna have to be on the
Ottoman Empire. That's the nerd of me coming out.
There's just stuff that Turkey's.
At the moment in time, there's a thing that Turkey's famous for when it's concerning medical tourism.
Oh yeah.
Oh really? So like to become like a Lima or something?
No. Nothing that drastic.
You can become a ladyboy.
No. I think we've established Shaun the Sheep.
You can become boy with dentures.
Yeah. Well, I've been to pretty much almost every place in Asia except for Myanmar. I would like to go to, but they got the Civil War, and then Nepal. I wanted to go to, and I've never been there. So I thought I would broaden things out a bit, and I've been meaning to do that since COVID.
It's
You
all
been
I'm
to
sorry?
Laos?
all
You
good.
been
All
to
good.
Laos or Laos?
I was actually just looking at that. I'm thinking about it. I have never been before. I
Okay.
was supposed to go at one point, but yeah, I was literally like looking at that a few days ago. You got to get an e-visa to go there. But it's like, yeah, it's supposed to be like it's very conservative.
Mm,
Vientiane, I think the capital
yeah,
is. That's
yeah.
where I was. Yeah, I
I,
was playing, thinking about going,
yeah.
but it depends. I don't want to get. I don't want to hop around like on a plane and go a bunch of places. Like I finally just recently got an eSIM. I didn't have an eSIM phone before, and so I'm looking at some of the plans online. You
Whatever
can
it's
get
called, and Luang Prabang, and it's
yeah.
not expensive at all.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I was looking at Aero. I don't know if you heard Aerolo or something. Seems to be the popular one. And you can get like a global SIM, or just one for Asia. So yeah, I don't want to do too much plane hopping, but like I'm like, if I can get a SIM where I don't have to worry about getting something at the airport when I land, like that'll be a huge difference. And I was thinking about maybe making like Japan or Thailand like my base for when I take
Where
off.
are you coming from? Why did you pick Turkey in all of Europe to go to?
I don't know. It just sort of popped in my head. Originally, I was thinking about going to a place called Reunion Island, which is off the coast of Madagascar.
Yeah,
And
because every time I think about where do I want to go in the world, I think of Madagascar. Sorry, I just had to say that.
yeah, but a couple people online started calling it retarded island, and I was like, yeah, I don't know why the hell I would go there. So
Alaska,
I
isn't
just
that the
Turkey's becoming advanced, and it's something different. It's something that sort of more might be, I don't know, um, challenging, if that's the best word to describe it. I don't know. I need something new. I'm tired of going to the same places over and over
I
again.
know, especially Japan. You went
Yeah.
to Japan so many times. I actually thought you were Japanese.
I've been to, yeah. Japan has a problem now with over tourism because the yen is gone down so much, and yeah, it's just not the same. I still love Japan, but they're very phobic, and I'll still go there, but I just don't have the same. I can't be there for that long because I'll get very frustrated and I'll want to leave. So I need to find somewhere else to go.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. Like,
I was thinking
yeah.
Turkey's kind of got that. I don't want to go to the EU because the weather. I was thinking Georgia. I wanted to try out as well. They have a nomad visa that'll last like a year, no questions asked type of deal. A friend of mine, we were talking about doing that meet up together, but I don't know. That'd be kind of
I would say to explore that, you kind of have to know what do you want to do in the country. Like, I would say Turkey and Georgia they're actually kind of similar.
have you been to Georgia?
No, but both are very much welcomed by Russia.
Yeah. Well,
go to Europe?
The only reason I don't go to Europe is because I usually travel in the wintertime for the most part. And I just don't like the bad weather in Europe. And when I'm in, yeah. And then if it's Christmas time too, Christmas is very big, and then I'm not with my family and stuff. I'm on my own in Europe. Sometimes it gets kind of like depressing and stuff. So Europe is not really like I like Europe, but it's just not really like a wintertime place for a single guy to go to. Kind of.
Say maybe south of Spain is good.
Yeah, no, I wanted to go to Finland.
But would you be going
to
Turkey in winter?
Yeah, probably. Or fall. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I've already looked up the weather. It's supposed to be like reasonable. You just have to have like a light jacket on. Apparently their climate is like the same like all year round. It's not hot, but it's not cold either.
It's like Hawaii.
No, Hawaii would be considered like hot, like Turkey's not. I don't think Turkey has any beaches or anything like that. Could be wrong, but
It
I don't
They
does.
do.
Yeah, it does.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have places like Izmir and Bodrum that are like popular, like Mediterranean, like on the Med sort of vacation cities.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Then down the south, you've got Olu Dennis, which is amazing. It's kind of crystal clear water, and it's kind of like it's laid out like perfectly, like a little sand island, and it's an amazing beach. And I found it like I must have been a bit of a prick, but I went there with my girlfriend, and then we just like on the spur invited her housemate, and it just fucking ruined the relationship. But
Well, it depends. Was their housemate a girl or a boy?
a girl, yeah. But
Okay. So that's
I
your
had that in Thailand
he-
once.
Yeah.
Where I dated
Sorry?
this one girl and she invited me out. We went to this Spanish restaurant and I liked her friend more than the girl that I was dating. Her friend laughed at all my dumb, sarcastic jokes. And
like
the girl that I was
wanna
dating
get
never
her-
laughed at all.
yeah, her girlfriend was her friend was quite pretty as well. But she was Swiss, and her housemate was Canadian. So I couldn't. There's no way I could have done the switch, Sean. You know.
Yeah, the switch I was about to say. Yeah, that's a tough thing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't have. And
I thought about that in Thailand at one point, but
Which
I was
would-
just like,
which would-
no.
the switch would have been perfect because she was
Yeah.
she was so keen to be in Ireland, and she was so excited and happy and everything.
I kind of hinted that with this Vietnamese girl too once, but I just decided to ask her direct, the girl that I was seeing kind of in and out casually. And I'm like, your friend is available? And she was like, she's not your type or something. Or
That's never a good thing. to ask
Yeah.
your girlfriend.
and I was
your
like, I
friend-
don't know if she's lying because women don't like that, or if she's telling the truth.
about
And
it,
I'm
Sean,
like,
the
she's probably
switch is
telling the truth.
The switch is impossible. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know. It's like
You are-
discovering plutonium for the first time.
Does your friend like me? Never a good thing.
Yeah,
Can't do it. Not possible.
yeah.
Tazi, have you ever done the switch?
Yes, but I was usually at the losing end.
With a man.
Oh yeah. Well, it would be the losing
No.
end of the switch. It would be like a girlfriend saying, "Hey, you want to go out here with me and some other guy?"
Yeah.
Probably more like that. But
Chris, are you a fan of Seinfeld?
yeah, well, so I know Seinfeld. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan, but I do know Seinfeld.
That's where the term comes from. The switch.
So you know what
Yeah.
the switch, Tazi? Do you know what I'm?
As far as Seinfeld goes, I'm probably kind of
Taisi is more of a Friends.
no.
Um,
No, Friends is even worse than Seinfeld.
Taisi is 60 Minutes. Chris is more of a. I could see Chris being a Seinfeld guy.
I'd
Maybe.
say, Tazi, you're more Sex in the City.
No, I've never even seen that.
I'm Golden. I'm Golden Girls now. I used to be Seinfeld.
That
Yeah.
I have seen.
I'm
I
Gold.
I was Three Companies. Three's Company.
Three's Company.
I've actually seen, I've seen Three's Company.
Yeah, come and knock on our door. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
it both with Ralph Furley and who was the other one? Mr. Norman? Ralph Furley, Mr.
I don't
Norman?
know.
I've seen them with
Really.
both. Yeah, that's a good show. All right, I gotta go. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be
All
back.
right.
Good luck.
Yeah. We'll see you in 18 minutes.
Push it through. Chop it up and push it through.
I think Tazzy's probably like a Big Bang Theory type of guy.
Oh yeah, you're spot on with that one. Too bad he wasn't. He's probably listening right now. Yeah. Have you guys watch Ryan? Do you guys know Ryan Boundless?
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
heard of him before. Yeah.
Yeah, I started watching him. He lived in Japan. He's a fan of Cheap Charlie, and Charlie likes him as well. I've only just started watching him recently. He lived in Japan for almost 20 years, dated a girl over there, and then it fell apart. And says that he'll never go back unless it's just a short vacation. And now he went to Uganda, which I
Yeah, he
don't
went to
know
Africa.
too much about. Yeah, now he's back in the US and he's living out of his car. And he's just doing videos, daily
No.
vlogs where
But
he's just living out of his car.
Do you remember when he met
Didn't
Steph?
Sorry?
go ahead.
He met up with Steph. Do you remember that?
I was
He
about to say
did?
that. Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
No. I never I never
that's
knew
correct,
that.
Sean. They went to dinner together and had like a little vlog.
Oh wow. Huh. That's interesting. I actually kind of in a weird way I enjoy watching him. His vlogs. But yeah, I don't know, he's living out of his Prius. Like you think Ron's got it bad. This guy's living out of his Prius. Talks about taking dumps.
Washington. It's a fairly good sized city in the middle of Washington State. This is my first time in Washington. So anyway, last night I just pulled over to the side of the road. I was on a state highway. Had a beautiful view.
He looks like he's aged 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I think Uganda did that to him, or it's just age got to him. I don't know. It's just like I feel like I've just gotten that since COVID. Like I mentioned earlier, like I'm starting to get the gray hair along my ears and stuff like that. And it really shows when I get a haircut where like people are like, oh, you know it's bad when you go to family gatherings and they're like, oh, you got gray hair now. And you're like, yeah, thanks for pointing that out.
The long nasal hair and the hair out the ears.
No, thankfully, no, not well, knock on wood. Thankfully that'll never happen, but yeah, I don't have that. Yeah.
No.
But yeah. No.
Well, you got that to look forward to.
Yeah. I've got a little bit of a beer gut now. I
Have
wouldn't
you?
consider I'm not fat, but
You're only in your 30s. Why talk about a beer gut?
I don't know. It's harder. It's harder to get a six pack. When you're younger, it's easier to get a six pack.
No.
Yeah, no, it's
You just
true,
gotta-
Chris.
No. You just got to talk to Cheap Charlie. He knows how to get it done.
Yeah.
Does he's very good at weights and chairs.
Or
He's good.
Charlie. I was thinking about giving him some cash earlier, but then I was like, no, because I've noticed he's been dishing out spanners left, right, and center to everyone that's been watching him for a long time. And he still won't give one to me. And I'm like, you know who I am, Charlie.
Oh, he hasn't. Oh, he hasn't given one to me too, and I met him.
He said he would.
Thailand.
He just
I met
doesn't
him in
see you in it. He
Thailand
literally said in
5
one of
months
his streams like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I heard him say, I'd give Tyzee a spanner, but I don't see him.
Yeah. I don't post there. I did post before I went there. I haven't posted there recently.
Yeah, I don't post in his chat a lot. But when I do, yeah, I get like a rush of like morons that come in and start trying to egg me on and stuff on anonymous accounts and stuff.
MF Chris, do you have a spanner?
On Charlie's, yeah, I do.
You got a spanner on Charlie's, don't you? Or
Yeah, I got one. I sent him
you
some
got one?
money like when he first got to Thailand. It's like I had left, and then he just got there, sort of, or like got to Pattaya, and I had just left Thailand. And I think I sent him some money when he was out with JJ.
That's good.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and he, but it was like months later, like 3 months later. Oh yeah, I remember. He said in the chat, "Yeah, you sent me some money, so here you go." I'm like, I
Oh
never
yeah,
asked
yeah,
for it,
he does that. Yeah,
and I don't really. It doesn't matter to
he
me if I
either.
have a spanner or not.
Yeah, I don't really care either. It's just I know it pisses other people off if I have one. That's sometimes the only reason why I
Well,
sometimes think.
the only reason I don't really like spanners or want one, when I was living in Thailand, I met up with a couple YouTubers, which probably was a mistake. But I met up with one, and he had a lot of trolls in his chat, right? So he gave me like a spanner, and I'm just there trying to figure out the whole chat rather
Awful, isn't it?
than rather than listen to what he had to say. I was more
Exactly.
concentrated on and I felt like I was working for him.
Yep.
Yeah,
And,
I had that with Steph.
and not to say that, if you're dedicated to the person's channel and you want them to succeed and stuff, but I didn't really know him like that, and I didn't support him like that. I was just
Right.
nice to him and showed him around a little bit or give him some advice that I thought would be relevant for him. But no, I was just like, man, I don't work for this guy. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry to say it that way, but that's
Like
how it
what
felt to me.
was in the early days, like before COVID, with Steph, and he made me a moderator, and it was just horrible. He was just deleting everything, delete.
Yeah, and then
Because
if
he was getting
yeah,
trolled heavily. He was getting trolled so heavily.
and Steph's was the worst because Steph was very biased. So
Yeah.
if you deleted something and he didn't like that person, then he would highlight the comment, I found. But if you didn't delete it, then he would call you out and say, how come you're not deleting this comment or something? It's like he wanted you to read his mind type of deal. Like you gotta, and I've seen that with like with Ron, for example. Like I've had people that are like, how come I don't have a blue wrench on Ron's? But in a way, I'm like, you're thinking like, yeah, Ron should give me a wrench, but at the same time, I don't want one on his channel because it's a similar thing. Like it's just, there's
Yeah.
going to be too much politics involved. And the reason why I think he has not given me one is because he sees me on other channels. Like I don't want to, I'm like Chris, like to a certain degree, like all of you guys to a certain degree. Like if there's a channel I want to go to and I want to watch, I'll go there. And if someone's going to call me out on that, then, too bad. Like you just get to a point where you just don't care anymore, like I'm tired of people. It still goes on to this day. I'm tired of people saying, why are you saying hey to this guy? That guy's a goof or whatever. It's like, it's so hard to be neutral. You know what I mean? Like it's just,
I agree. This is the
yeah,
way
like,
Well, for me, like, I can only say from my point of view is like I joined like a certain part of the genre by chance. Then I was sort of accepted. I was allowed on the panel, and that was it. And then like all hell broke loose,
yeah,
pretty much. Okay, I
yeah,
got drawn into it, and I was triggered, and you have to be
true.
sensible and don't let. It's the fucking internet. You just don't let emotions take over. Yeah, and I,
Yeah.
geared back, and since then I've been a good boy, and whoever doesn't like me, I could care less. If they can voice their opinion just because oh, you have a deep voice or you talk slow. If that's it, then fine.
Yeah,
I can
or
give a
like they
shit.
say to me, you have a high pitched voice, you talk like a girl or whatever. Okay, whatever, I don't care. But if all they're gonna do is just ask for a spanner, so then they can and not give me one, so then they can time me out and not let me say hi or something like that, and then the host plays dumb and goes, "Why doesn't Sean come to my channel anymore?" Well, too bad for you. You know the reason, but that's why I don't go there. And I do know people that give me respect and still give me spanners and stuff like that and allow me to go there and stuff. And people that like Charlie, for example, like if I get banned and he sees me in his ban list because he watches that all the time, he'll unban me because he knows I've been watching for an extremely long time. I'm one of like his first viewers that's still been around for years.
Well, if Charlie sees you in his ban list, he must have been the one that banned you, right? Isn't that the way
Well,
it works?
he's timed me out before a couple times, but I
mean,
do tend to push the buttons with him a couple times, but I don't like doing that. But so yeah.
I push Charlie's buttons too. You know, I'm not like making like direct fun of him, but there's some things that he says that just don't make sense, and I try to call him out on it. You know, and Charlie's
think,
just Charlie, and that's it.
Exactly. Yeah, he's I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. Same with Steph. Those are the two that kind of got me, and then COVID technically got me into the whole StreamYard side of things and got me to see who everybody was, and Studies and Bronze and you know, and I just got to the point where I don't want to take any sides anymore. I'm you know, that type of thing.
All good.
But if people follow me around, there's nothing you can do about it, and they'll do that. I've seen them do that with Sean the Prawn. I've seen them do that with Ty Z, and I kind of see that doing that with you, Chris, to a certain degree. The little bit that I watch here and there.
What do you mean?
Like, oh, Chris is on the panel again. He's so boring, but it'll be like an alt account or something. It's like, well, why don't you fucking go on the panel and say something? You know, you get used to that, right? Eventually you just turn a blind eye to it.
The one thing that I won't do and I don't do is if I said Izmir and Bodrum, right? Okay, those are the places I know. I'm sure there's much more beautiful places in Turkey, but I'll talk about something that I actually know and that, you know, maybe I've been to or I know people who visited and liked it. Same as with Thailand. And people, you don't live in Thailand, you don't know Jack. Well,
yes, I went through like 2 years of that.
Yes and no. But you know, I don't have to prove anything to anyone. If you disagree with me, then tell me why, and we can talk about it. But you know, just like blanket statements, it's ridiculous, in my opinion.
Yeah, it gets annoying though. Like I remember a guy like Big Boss, for example. I don't know if you know who he is. Sean and Ty Z know who he was. He stopped streaming, and he said one thing that stood out. He said, you know, words. It made people go, yeah, it's just words, but they do travel. Like they do stick with you to a certain degree. Like when someone just constantly follows you around wherever the hell you go and just constantly bashes you, tries to get a reaction out of you. Eventually, if you're having a bad day, it does kind of stick to a certain degree. And I get what he meant by that, because I get that, you know, sometimes too. And
that's what some people try to do, is they try to trigger you. I'm not triggered anymore. Apparently, they've doxed me and say that I live in Lubbock, Texas, or whatever.
Oh, I've had like 4 names. I've had like 5 names. Yeah, of like people. Yeah, and people have said, "Why didn't you go along with it, Sean? Why don't you just say, yeah, that's me?" And I did do that, but I had like all these random people that I never said anything to, never spoken to before, just that would come into like Steph's chat, come into like Ron's chat, who they don't ban people and stuff because they like the drama and stuff. And they would just start bashing me, going, "We know who you are." And they would start making fun of me and saying all those racist shit. And so I'm like, you know, that's not me. And
I've been attacked by Papa Jib. He accused me of being Shaun the Sheep.
Yeah. Well, Papa Jib's sense of humor is dark, but he doesn't mean any. Well, I don't know. It just depends on the person. Yeah. It's like Man About Oz, right? Like Sean, you know Man About Oz.
He
No.
People
banned.
hate Mad About Oz, but
I would
I
not.
like Mad About Oz.
Oh,
He
you
banned-
like it? I would say he's the worst person ever invented.
He banned.
Oh, there's a couple that that deserve to be on that list, but I'm not going to name any names. Not that I don't even know Man About Oz. I've heard of his name, but I've never really
Yeah,
heard him talk or anything about him. So
he banned me from Johnny Siam. So
it depends.
and he every stream I'm on that he joins, he goes, "You're gay. You're gay." That's what he says. But he attacks everyone.
Yeah.
Which is a great thing if you're trying to create something for yourself. Attack everyone.
Yeah, that's what he
Well,
does.
he's still got the COVID mentality, which I think that'll die out at some point. And what I mean by that is people like RF7, Pick Boss, even me. I hate to say it to a certain extent. When you mix booze and StreamYards and you want like a fight, like a verbal fight, and you realize it's very easy to go after people verbally, you get addicted to it. And you gotta, at some point, you gotta say, this is not going well for me. This is not good for my health. And you gotta put a stop to it. I just want to have a normal conversation on a panel and hang out with a few people. And Oz, Man About Oz is kind of, I think, going through that moment where he's still doing what he does since COVID. I mean, he's entertaining and people will watch that. Like Ron, for example, he does the car crash streams because he knows that that's what people will watch. He likes that. He gets a kick out of that. But eventually you're going to have to come to a point where you're going to have to say, I got enough is enough, type of deal.
Man is the same on and off stream. He's the exact same. Because I've chatted
Right.
after a stream, and he is the exact same. Like just
I've spoken to him off streams a couple times too. He's even told me his name and he doesn't even remember, but
everybody knows.
and that's why I say I like him. You just got to know how to.
Everybody knows his name. It's not a secret.
Well, he told me a different name.
Oh, okay.
But so maybe either I'm wrong or I don't know. But yeah, we were talking about jobs and salaries and stuff. He was actually the first person that told me to go to Turkey and invest in Turkey, and I started laughing at him. But he had a lot of business dealings, not to give away. I don't want to give any personal information away, but
no one makes money out of Turkey. No one.
Well, he's an older guy.
Mine bought an apartment over. He couldn't sell it.
Yeah. I like his stories. He talks about the days where Pan Am would come over and like it was a privilege to fly and everyone dressed nicely and you'd have like good food. They'd cut the meat in front of you and stuff like that. He talks about that. I like those. I like when people tell those type of stories. That's what StreamYards should be about. None of this bullshit. I'm not going to say any names, but
look. The thing is, you just got to weed it out. I mean, there's people that just geared up to wind people up, or try to draw people out, or get people to react, and you just got to weed it out. And then,
but then it means you can't go anywhere, Chris. Like I unsub from all the European people, not because I hate them all, but I had to do it because I couldn't be bothered anymore to a certain degree. But sometimes like the other day, someone linked Mike Sheff apparently went live and he had somebody on the panel and it was like Sunday morning, I think. And I looked in there and I'm like, oh, hell, that's funny. And I wrote one comment in there. I was the only one with a spanner in there. I thought that's weird. Why the hell do I have a spanner in this chat? It could be Mike way of trolling so people see it, or it could just be the fact that he doesn't give a shit, and I used to talk to him back in the day. But
Yeah.
I'll get in crap for that. Like, even for saying that, oh, okay, you like Mike Chev? Oh, okay, you're an asshole or whatever. I don't want you on my channel or anything like that. Like, I don't like that all that shit. Like, it's retarded. Then some people get away with it and some people don't. So,
Well, for me, for example, I moved to Thailand for I think 13 months, from 2018 to 2019. And before I moved there, well, I'd already been on vacation quite a couple of years before then.
yeah.
And yeah, it was, and because of family issues, I had to leave. Otherwise, I'd probably still be there. But anyway, just before I left, the whole Graham Breyer heart condition thing started, and the whole twitchy thing sort of started. Like, that's like what I remember of the drama coming into the genre, because I was following Gordon Tickle, and my initial
Oh, you're old
thought was,
school. Yeah.
yeah, man.
You've been around. Yeah. I don't
My
even know
initial,
about the I know about Gordon Tickle, but I wasn't really like around for any of that stuff. I had to
well,
like the talk back Thailand days and all that stuff. I don't.
yeah, well, my initial wish was to live in Chiang Mai, because I had visited Chiang Mai on one of my vacations, and I was only there for like 4 or 5 nights, and I totally like it. The city and the atmosphere totally hypnotized me. I was like, yeah, this is where I want to try to live. I like
Yeah,
this
Chiang
place.
Mai is cool. Yeah. I went there once.
Yeah,
It
I
really.
I stayed there for a month, and then I decided not to stay there.
Oh,
Right.
There's a couple of reasons. Um, and
pol-
in that time, I went to go visit Gordon Tickle, so I met him in person, and he's a wonderful person, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, he's got his political views and his views on life and all this stuff, but he's straight as an arrow, such a kind and generous person. Um, I think, if I live, okay, that's whatever, an hour and a half drive between the two cities, right? But I don't think if I had a question, anything pertaining to Thailand or building or doing this or doing that, that he wouldn't give his best advice to you, like in earnest, right? So the whole thing with the twitchy thing, like it was just ridiculous. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, um, same with the Graham Breyer thing, the guy who had his heart attack and then he sadly passed away. I've heard 2 or 3 stories saying the same thing about what happened in the background, which nobody knows about, and I sort of believe it. I won't repeat it here, and it really doesn't matter because the gentleman's been passed
Hmm.
away for a very long time now. But the thing is, all of the stories you hear, like on here or in forums or whatever, and then you hear firsthand accounts from people who actually lived there, knew him, knew a little bit more detail about him and how he was living, etc., then it makes more sense. You tend to, all of the
Oh yeah,
hyper,
yeah. The
hyperbole and all
online
that stuff.
stuff is it's all shit. Like when me and Sean the Prawn talk about like Sean in Wonderland, for example, how people praise him, but
Damn, we're talking
coolest,
Sean Wonderland
it's
again.
coolest,
it,
coolest dude. He's so cool.
yeah, he's Joe Pesci.
You don't get any like he is mafia. Yeah, Iranian
Yeah.
mafia.
We're being sarcastic, Chris. By the way, in case.
Well, the thing about the Sean in Wonderland guy, what I think that was cool about him is that he learned a little bit of the language. He tried to adapt as much as possible to be as local as possible. I like the way he cooked. I like the way he went and bought stuff at the market. I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
Would I go meet him? Would I go meet him for a beer?
Bread,
Probably
organic
not.
bread.
I mean, but that's just me.
I get what you're saying. Sorry to. I hope I'm not interrupting, but I just
no.
I totally get what you're saying. If I'm gonna meet someone just to say hi to them, like why should there be any like animosity? You know, for me, like I'm not on any side. I'm not just. I don't need a spanner. I don't need to say
Yeah,
hi to somebody
I
else.
agree. I agree
It-
with everything you're saying, Sean.
and I think that's the main problem with this so-called now Thailand genre. There's a lot of people that have nothing to do with traveling even, but it's gotten so out of control that I just spend my time on small channels and stuff, and I just can't be bothered to. Sometimes I'll lurk a little bit here and there, and I just hear that it's the same shit over and over again. And I just, you know what?
What happened to Oh, sorry.
No,
Oh,
go ahead.
Glenn. Who was I thinking of?
Sean in Wonderland? I don't know. I think he quit or he didn't care. I never really watched him. There's a lot of Thai streamers that I never really watched. I mostly just paid attention to the StreamYardies side, unless it was Charlie. Charlie was the only one I think that I watched that never did StreamYards. That was Thai genre. There was some Filipino ones that I kind of watched. And I'm like, this is not for me. Yeah.
From
I used to
a
watch
little bit.
Michael Fazio. I used to enjoy watching his streams.
No, I couldn't stand a lot of these guys. Just my own.
But compared to, like, it's my opinion. I mean, you might agree, you might disagree, but compared to like the Thai genre, the Philippine genre is like ultra toxic. I mean, I think the Thai genre is in kindergarten compared to them, from what I've heard.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, I've never really paid that much attention to the Philippine genre, other than the ones that come over to the Thai genre because they couldn't handle it in the Philippine genre. But like I get like an idea of like, man, if you guys are over here, it must be really bad over there. Like, you know, because like the Thai genre has a lot of Philippine genre people that regularly like pop in. I could give names, but I kind of don't want to. But yeah,
But the
all good
one bigger,
people for the most part, sort of. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever been to the Philippines. I went once. It's a shithole. So, I mean, it's
look, for the Philippines, I've only been on business, and I went to Manila for 2
right.
nights,
Yeah.
and I had wonderful hosts. The people we were trying to do business with, I mean, awesome. And then I met up with another businessman who was a part owner of one of the casinos, and
Oh,
I
okay.
used to be in the automotive sector, and
Right.
he's got like 3 warehouses full of cars that he took me to,
Wow.
and then he goes to me, he goes, "Oh, let's take out this Porsche, like really rare, like awesome car. You've been looking at this one." I was like, "Yeah, man, this wow."
You'd be stuck in
And he goes, "Yeah."
traffic for 14 hours though.
No. He brought me back to the hotel. He says, "I'm going to pick you up at 11 o'clock at night, and then we're going to go hang out with my friends. We have like a buddy cars and coffee. So we go to this gas station where there's like a cafe, right? Like attached to it, right? And then we bring like a car each. So it's like 5 of his friends. So it was like 5 cars or 6 cars with him. And I went there. And the thing that really shocked me when we were driving through like Manila, I mean, the traffic wasn't as bad as during the day, of course, but like every traffic light, there would be like children begging, knocking on the window.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
when
yeah.
you got to the gas station and the little coffee shop thingy, they had like 2 security guards with pump guns, and I'm just like, well, you don't see that in Thailand. You don't.
Yeah, in
Not to that
Makati,
extent.
every intersection and every storefront when I was there just before COVID, there was a police officer or a security guard with a pump action with the shotgun. Malls, like literally, like I'm not even exaggerating. Like every storefront, every intersection directing traffic. and I never saw in that area any beggars or anything that people talked about online. But on Sunday, I guess because that's when everyone had their day off, so all the cops and all the security guards weren't around, and a lot of businesses were closed. All of a sudden, you see all these kids and stuff out with these old ladies, barefoot, asking for money.
And,
I'm
and
going AFK for 10 minutes. But
all right.
It
Okay.
doesn't affect you guys. It doesn't affect you guys who are talking brilliantly.
We're gonna miss
See
you.
No.
You'll be back.
Don't do it about me. I have to
Is it?
go
It's not
AFK.
that food, is it?
No, it's not the food. Not right now. The food. It's not the food. It's not the.
I might leave for a bit too if anybody else is. No, just
no.
because I got to eat something because it's dinner time for me. I got to order
Well,
like a.
Before you leave, I just want to say about the Philippines again. I've only been there for 2 nights. That was my experience, and I know the Philippines is huge and made up of many islands, and I'm sure there's many beautiful places. A friend of mine, I forget where the fuck he lives. I'd have to message him, but he's an ex-marine and he's in the Philippines now, and he likes
Mhm.
it, and he has no problem with it. And I also understand that Manila is not the rest of the Philippines, so I'm sure there's nice pieces of earth
Yeah.
in the Philippines where it's safe enough and nice enough that you can stay and have a
They
good
got some
life.
good resorts. I went to Boracay, which is an island
Yeah.
resort. You have to take a boat to there, and they don't let you over there. They have to, unless you like show them your hotel reservation and stuff like that. It's nice, but it's also not it's not cheap either. Like it's not like for a Southeast Asian country, for those places, like it's not you're not really getting any deals. Like if you go and even buy beer at 7-Eleven or something like that, you're not really.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
look, I can give an analogy to that. I mean, if you take like Phuket, for example, which I haven't been to,
Mhm.
but I went all the way south past Krabi to Trang, and yeah, it's a total different demographic. There's less tourists, so the prices are not as touristy, even for the hotels, the beers, the food. But they have beaches and they're beautiful. Okay, you're not in the middle of everything and you're not in the action, but if you need
Right.
the action, okay, you gotta pay the piper.
Yeah, I wanted to go to. I got into an argument with this Thai girl during COVID. She said we should go away for a weekend somewhere. It was like a long weekend or some crap like that. And she mentioned Phuket or Krabi. I think Krabi is an island or something like that. And I've never been to either. And I did a little bit of research and I said, okay, let's go to Krabi. Then she said, no, let's go to Phuket. But Phuket just seemed too, it's like Cancun kind of thing. Like it just seemed, it's too, like that's where the locals want to hang out because that's the most, in my opinion, like the most like Western, I guess, place to
Phuket
be.
is
Like,
Phuket is the most expensive place to live in Thailand outside of Bangkok.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I've stayed.
What's the purpose of being there? Just the beaches? I'm not really a beach person.
Beaches
Like,
are,
Well,
beaches
yeah,
are really
beaches.
yeah.
Kamala is really good. Yeah. Which is south
Yeah.
of Patong.
I like exploring places that like that are just like off the beaten path, kind of, but like are not.
You
I don't
won't get
know,
Phuket. No.
but are safe at the same time. Like I don't I want to go to Africa, but I don't want to go to Africa because it's scary. I don't know, like if that makes any sense. I don't know.
What do you want to
Go,
go to Africa for?
Okay, I want to see Cape Town. That's been on my bucket list. I'll probably end up like Edward Sweeney at some point, going, "Damn, I should have gone to Cape Town," or something. Yeah, but yeah, no. But I hear what you're saying. Yeah, both of you. I don't know.
For old
It-
Eddie's.
Yeah, no, but the whole thing about people telling you about who you watch and who you don't watch, and like a lot of people lurk and stuff like that. It's like, it's just, you gotta just ignore it. There's nothing you can do at this point. I've been dealing with it for three plus years. Even when you type in the chat, you'll get these people that just bring your name up out of nowhere, and it's just like, why are you coming out of nowhere? Were you waiting all day for me to type in someone's chat out of the blue, and you just bring my name up? What are you so obsessed with me for?
I'm more troller. Who trolls you the most? Is it
I don't know.
South?
They're all alt accounts. I can name probably in terms of countries, it's probably the Brits, to be honest, in the genre that troll the most. But I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think because they've got the most audience. But I
Question I had
know
from before. Sorry, what's happened with Gazza Sweden? Like, is he?
I don't know. He's vanished. He'll be back at some point, I think. He needed to get away for a bit. I think he's doing okay though, to be honest. Eventually he'll come back. It's that Timmy guy, that, my opinion, loser. He took down Gaz's channel. He porn bombed it, laughed about it, and then that was like Gaz's like end. That set Gaza off. But the other problem with Gaza too is he had a few people that were talking to him constantly behind the scenes and manipulating him, and so that didn't help either. Never get involved with people in private chats unless you've met them in real life before from the genre. That's my advice.
Yeah.
Because it'll just it's just one big giant troll game. People just are out to mess with your real life. It's like that whole saying where like your friend falls down and they're going, "Oh," and you can't help but laugh at them. It's human nature. It's sort of like the online world. You secretly want to fuck with the people that you're being friends with. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah.
That's kind of a
Yeah.
maybe cynicism. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was thinking about Sean. I was thinking about when we spoke last time. I don't know if I can handle Saigon, Ho Chi Minh. But I've been thinking about if I could. That might be a stop. I'm either debating about going there after Turkey or going to Singapore, because I like Singapore, but I haven't been there in a while. But Singapore is a working class city, and there's nothing going on Monday to Thursday. So,
Paul,
sorry, say again. You cut out.
were you saying Singapore?
Yeah. I was thinking about going back. I've been to Singapore. I lived in Singapore for a bit back in like 2011, only for a couple months, but it's a good place. I like it. It's a cool place. It's very safe. There's a lot of expats there.
Incredibly safe. Yeah. It is.
The booze is pricey as hell though, but yeah, it's very multicultural.
You go street food, hawkers. You know, you'll be right.
Oh yeah, the street food. That's the only place in the world where I'll eat street food. Yeah.
Well, it's around Geylang, Geylang.
Yeah, that's I don't think I've ever been there, but that's supposed to be like the red light district. Yeah. The like scuzzy area kind of type of thing, whatever.
Streets there that have a few streets.
But they've got like a Muslim area. They've got like an Indian area. They've got a Chinatown that's amazing, and it's such a great place. I love Singapore.
Do you know the brilliant like catching getting in the airport is brilliant. The Singapore airport is just so easy to negotiate. It's brilliant. And
It's
then
good, yeah, unless you arrive at like 3
like
a.m. in the morning because everything's closed.
all right, but I'm not going to say
Yeah.
like it's flash. It's not flash. It used to be when it, back maybe 20, 30 years ago, it was, the most modern sort of airport, but now it's aged a bit. But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
really simple to figure out where you are. And
Yeah,
and then when you hop off the plane, you get off the plane and you go out through, through the exit after going through customs and baggage and
Mhm.
whatever. And then you catch the train. It's brilliant because it's like hopping on an elevator. Like the doors just open all of a sudden. You're in a
Yeah,
building. Yeah.
it's comfortable. Yeah. You're just it's a piece of the West and the East that just meet together. I've always found. Yeah. There are some douchebags. I've like the last time I was there, I noticed that there are more expats that are going there that just seems like everyone wants to be the next Instagram or app creator that thinks, I don't know, but it's
All
still
right.
a great place. Like hipster type guys that think that like they're the next Elon Musk or something like that. I don't know. That's the only issue I find. But
Yeah, I haven't struck that, but like I wouldn't want to.
yeah,
yeah,
no, it only happened the last time I was there, but I've been to Singapore dozens of times, and there was just that one time where I felt like it's just getting more and more. Same with Japan, maybe same with Thailand. Just a lot of these countries just seem to be getting more and more Western people coming in, Chinese and Filipinos and stuff that are just flooding the market and raising the costs of everything, and then you get sort of judged right away. Like you don't get that. You don't. I like traveling where you get that local. I like to immerse myself in the local atmosphere. Uh, I'm not like a tourist that walks around and goes on the Ferris wheel with a fanny pack on my
Yeah.
belt. I like to immerse myself in the local culture and like hang out with the locals and eat the food and stuff and drink beer.
Yeah. The
And I
same.
feel like that's sort of disappearing, kind of, or it's harder to get, kind of. Yeah.
yeah. Well, what I remember from Singapore is pepper crab, chili crab.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, absolutely awesome. I'm not a big crab fan either, but oh my god,
I don't think
oh
I've had
man.
that. That's interesting. I'll do that next time. Yeah.
Well, they have it in Malaysia as well, but in Singapore, pepper crab or chili crab. There's a couple restaurants that are famous for it. Um, the guy used to go on business, so and
Hmm.
I remember the first time I was there, I was like, man, this place is awesome. Oh wow, I could, what does it cost to live here? And then they told me, and I was like, yeah, well, forget about that then. That's never gonna happen. Like,
Did you work for? You don't have to answer, but did you work for Rolls Royce? Because
no,
there was. Oh,
no,
okay. There's this guy that I hung out with that lived that was from the U.S. and I met him in Singapore. We hung out a bunch, and yeah, he was always on business there, working for Rolls Royce, but he lived in the U.S. Yeah, so I just
no, I mean, also great people there. And the guy who sort of I became friends with, he he told me the Suzuki Swift that he bought in because of the way they sell cars in
oh yeah,
Singapore
you got
with
to have a pass for
certi-
or something.
certificate of entitlement (COE) or
Yeah,
whatever
it's
they
like
call it.
100,000. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
bucks.
like a lottery and it depends and blah 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 blah. He said he paid as much for his Suzuki Swift as I would have paid for like a Porsche Cayman. But
Yeah,
where I'm from,
yeah,
I'm like, oh my god.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
it keeps the
So
traffic down to a certain degree, but yeah, the last time I was there, it was $100,000 Singapore dollars, which is about it's pretty much the equivalent to the American dollar, sort of, maybe a bit less. And yeah, it's $100,000 for if you win the lottery. You get that ticket, you pay $100,000, then you can go and buy a car, and the car is overpriced because of the import fees and stuff. And then you got to have it inspected, pay for the inspection every year as well. And so,
then
yeah,
all that you've paid, including the COE, only entitles you to have the car for up to 10 years. Then you need to get a new one.
wow. Yeah.
Yep. At least that
And
was how it was back then. The COE was for you to have like that plate or that car for 10 years.
it's interesting how all the countries are like in Japan, for example, like used like houses and cars, they don't have any resale value compared to like Europe and the US. Like you get like a 5-year-old Beamer or something like that. There's no resale value in Japan. You dump it. So you'll only ever see new cars, or old like houses that have just been ditched in like rural Japan. It's weird like that. All the Asian countries just have their own weird way of doing things. I don't know.
How can you travel and work, Sean?
My job is seasonal, so I have passive income, and I have a business, and the business is seasonal. So during the summertime, I'm at home, but in the wintertime, that's usually when you'll see me abroad.
All right, so you're a banana picker, are you?
Yeah, that's what they call that's a racist term for Asian people. Yellow on the outside, white on the inside.
Have you ever had yellow fever from picking all those bananas?
Oh, definitely, I got yellow fever, 100%.
Yellow
I
fever.
mean, I'd
You
like
know,
to think that the Thailand genre, that's one thing that we all have in common. Not
Ron
the ladyboy people. Not that I have anything against them, but yellow fever is fucking.
has yellow fever. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
expressed.
I've gotten yellow fever in the U.S. back at home, and
Really?
that's what made me. Yeah, that's what made me go to start going to Asia. I went to Japan. Well, actually, I went to Singapore. That was the first country. Because my mom, she's Indian, and she wanted me to go to India, and I didn't want to go. Then I said, okay, I'll stop. I spent some time in Singapore, and I liked there, so I started staying in Singapore. Then I was like, wow. I was like, this country's better than the U.S. to a
Yeah.
certain degree. And
Well, the
I'm
French-
like, that was when I was like, you know how they say like a lot of Americans don't have passports and stuff. They just assume that like the U.S. is the greatest country on the planet, but they've never ventured outside of it unless they go to like Cancun or some stupid resort where it's basically the same thing as being in the US. Yeah, no, I would go to Singapore a lot, and then I started dating this one girl in the US in California, and I started going to Japan. And then I would use Japan as my base because I couldn't stay there all the time. Her parents weren't very fond of me, to put it lightly, but so I was using that as a base to branch out into other countries in Asia. And Thailand was one of the first countries where I thought, I'll go there. I went to Korea. I didn't really like that. I liked Hong Kong. I liked Macau. Macau was really cool.
It is cool.
Yeah. They say it's the Vegas of Asia, but it's not. Chinese. It's a whole money laundering place. It's crazy.
I've just been to Old Town in Macau.
Where were you in Japan, Sean?
No, Macau.
I've been everywhere in Japan except Okinawa. I've never been there. and I've never been
Okay.
to Hokkaido, which is up north. Yeah,
Macau
but
off Singapore. It's Portuguese colony.
yeah,
Yep.
no, Macau is. If you go to Macau, you can still see the tiled sidewalks and stuff from like
Yeah.
the police still have like the jackets that say Policia on the
Yeah.
back. Like it's they have old Macau and they have new Macau, and old when I've been, old Macau is like the place to be. The casinos are shit. It's not like Vegas. Yeah, they have the MGM there and stuff like that, but it's not like Vegas at all. They take because it's all Chinese and North Koreans and stuff, money laundering there. They take gambling very seriously. The beer is not free. You're not allowed to be drunk in there. They'll escort you out if they think you're being drunk. Yeah, gambling's from what I saw is stupid over there. But I haven't been there since like 2017 or something like that. Was the last time I went. But I would like to go back if there wasn't so much Chinese influence. Sorry, Chris. What were you saying before?
Oh no,
Macau.
just where you were in Japan.
Oh, in Japan.
really-
Yeah, no, I've been
Yeah, it's
pretty much
different
everywhere
there.
in Japan except like literally almost everywhere except Okinawa and Hokkaido.
I'd like to come back on Taizi's channel as long as drown out long talking Sean.
Wrong.
Yeah, I love you too. Happy
Right.
birthday. Happy birthday, by the way, you
It's not my
asshole.
birthday, but all right.
Well, everyone else has been saying that.
I know it's Dime's fault.
Happy birthday
Not my birthday.
To John.
Happy birthday
To John.
Happy birthday, dear Ronald.
Happy birthday
to Ronald.
to
When is your birthday?
The 19th.
Oh, okay.
Happy birthday.
It's bad. Isn't it bad luck to congratulate somebody before their birthday?
No,
I
it's
think
3.
that's why they're doing it. I think that's specifically why they're doing it.
It's also bad
you
luck
don't-
to have a black
Bad
cat
luck
walk
all
by
the
your
time.
window, and I just had that like 2 hours ago. So maybe
You
that's
got-
why Ron came on.
2.5 hours till Ron turns 32.
Now Ron's here. Now I got to stay on for another hour until he kicks
Ron
me
won't
off.
ever turn anything above 29. 29 and holding
He's
forever.
still, and yeah, and he's turning 29. Yeah.
No, he's not. He's 52. Why doesn't anybody believe what the
I love all
information?
the different ages. Go ahead. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Well, I'm an Indian and I'm a Japanese and I'm an Afghani.
Well,
I'm
you
an
can be all of
American and a Canadian.
You can be all those. It's not impossible. I'm Peruvian and Finnish. You know. So
That's right.
Yeah, that's
just like
true.
the Pope.
Actually, that would be a cool place I want to go to as well. I think now that Ron's here, what's that island
Peru,
that your stepdad's off of? No.
Turkey.
Yeah, but that island that starts with a C. Chris,
Morocco?
you'll know. Yeah, Cyprus. I want to
Cyprus.
go to Cyprus.
Cyprus,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would love to see Cyprus. I don't know why.
Cypress
You go to
Hill.
the-
Coming to Baltimore if you want to go.
I've
should
seen
go-
Cyprus Hill before many times. They're
Go to
damn
the Greek-
good.
The Greek islands are the best.
Should I go?
Yep.
I'll stream it.
Let's all go to the Greek islands, all right? We'll
No.
do it now.
Good idea.
Greek
Yeah.
islands would be fun.
How about
Definitely.
Soy 6?
No,
That's not Greek.
that's not Greek. Yeah,
You can go Greek there. If you want.
yeah, but
yeah,
never
yeah.
go. Never go.
You
Ronnie.
guys remember Edward Sweeney in Greece? It threw me off of Greece. I was like, I don't want to go here. He's not doing anything.
I Greet. The dumb bastard.
Yeah, I'm like, you got to eat proper. He had like flies in his food and stuff. And I'm like, That's not the place to be, but I would love to go to the Greek
I
islands.
got a leftover Subway sandwich from lunch.
I love Eddie.
Oh,
I
nice.
had a foot long, but I could only eat 6 inches. That's what she said.
I
Yeah,
love
that's
Eddie.
what you do.
I didn't see
That's
that
why
one
you like
coming.
soy six so much.
6 inches.
I love Steady Eddie, right? But he goes overseas and orders a sausage roll. You know, like
Well, yeah,
Well, look,
he's a pure monger. He's
No, he's
he's
not.
as mongering as you
No,
can
he's
get.
not. He's
mm,
Yeah,
enjoying.
he is.
Ever watch his videos?
I watched.
okay,
Yeah, no,
okay.
I'm not subscribed to him, but I do pay
What-
attention to him here and there.
No, he's
he
not.
just orders British food. You know, he goes.
Yeah, he goes to search for food and stuff like that. So I don't know.
I don't
Well,
know
look,
about that.
I know people who live in Thailand and they don't really touch Thai food either. It's all your personal preference. I don't understand it, but if that's what they want to eat, that's what they want to eat. It's their body, and
Yeah, he doesn't
that's
eat Thai.
fine.
Look, if you want to promote a Thai British sausage roll, you go for it. I just,
Right.
you know, who's gonna challenge that? But
I'm
like,
not gonna stop him.
But
yeah,
some of his and I wish him the best. And my father died of cancer, and it's not a nice thing.
no,
I'm sure everybody has somebody in their family or
He was out today. He was out
circle
today.
of friends,
He must be doing all
circle
right.
of friends.
yeah,
That
and he's a
yeah,
brilliant guy.
that's
He's got a bit of life left in him.
the picture of him that Nick posted. He looks pretty good, to be fair. He
Yeah,
looked better than what he did in the hospital, 100%. So I'm wishing him all the best. But when he first got to Thailand for his retirement, like just some things, yeah, he went on his own and he travels on his own and he, seems to know what he's doing. But wasn't it like 3 times in a row where he went to like a new town and he told the taxi driver to take him to his hotel, and like 3 times in a row they took him to the wrong hotel? I mean, once is okay, twice is a coincidence. Third time is just like, oh, come on, man. You don't have Google Maps or anything like that? Like, come on.
What are you talking about?
Edward Sweeney, like
Eddie,
him traveling and stuff.
he's old school. Old school.
Yeah, yeah.
travel. Which is good, like, but yeah, I like how he loves his massages. Loves those massages.
But to be fair, he didn't make any hay about what he did when he wanted to have entertainment or fun. But
No,
it wasn't a primary subject of his travels. It just was a
open.
part of it. Yeah.
He is.
So
He's like Soy Honey, isn't it? Where he went for his massages. But so you know how you love, like the kinky bits of anybody. But he likes Soy Honey and his massages, and yeah, he's a good guy. He's not really a good thing to talk about, really, because of his predicament. But yeah,
well, we're not negative about him. We're not. I'm again nothing negative to say about him at all.
Yeah.
It's
And,
easy, dude. I hung out with him quite a few times.
I actually wanted to go when he did his first Cambodia series. It's like, yeah, I should really go there. Like that's what I watched, and to get my opinion to want to go. So, his efforts on YouTube got me to start thinking, oh, I should go and try see if I can get to Cambodia. He was the initial person who put. I haven't gone yet, but he was the initial person who put that spark in my head. So, he's doing something right.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
My spark was Cheap Charlie. That was my spark.
No, it was Steph. Be on.
No, I found Steph through Cheap Charlie. I would have never known Steph without Cheap Charlie. Cheap Charlie brought up Steph. That's how I looked up Steph. Never would have known Steph without Cheap Charlie.
How did you find Cheap Charlie?
Cheap Charlie, he's a big Thailand channel. He had a lot of subscribers and had a lot of videos. And this is before he showed his face. Before he was like doing live streams and stuff.
All those
like,
Megadose
video
videos.
tours. how to live off $100. Like that's what made me interested. I was like he's really paying $100 for a room and like living off of nothing. Like I thought it was interesting, so I started following a bunch of his shit.
And did you find it to
when he
be
started live
accurate?
streaming, he would start complaining about people. I'm like, well, who's this person? Or like talk about him. I'm like, well, who's that person? Or you see him in the sexy bar or something. And that's how everybody's a branch off of somehow from Cheap Charlie. I just know them from Cheap Charlie's the original. He's the stump. He's my stump.
Yeah.
It all goes back to Cheap Charlie in some way or another. That's why I said he's my guru. That's why I was so hurt when I lost my my spanner.
That's all right. He lost his spanner as well.
But do you find that what Cheap Charlie has been saying was accurate?
I don't watch him all the time. I work and stuff too much, so I miss a
No,
lot
no.
of it.
I mean,
I have an
the
opportunity.
things that he said to entice you to come to Thailand, the things that he was saying, did you find them accurate or not? Once you got there.
Well, I've never stayed in a room for a month that cost me $100. That I've never done. I've gotten close. I've stayed in places where it cost me $5 a day, plenty of times. So what's that? That's $150. But never $100. 150 is pretty easy to find, but yeah, hundreds, that's a little tough. But these girls always know that spot because they always get rooms that are like 3,000 baht for the month. Seems to be like the going for it. 3 to 4,000, I guess. It's going for a bar girl's room for the month.
Depends, but okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if she's got more money and she's really out there hitting up 10 clients a day, I'm sure she don't have to stay in the $100 room anymore. She'll step her game up. Some of them will still stay in the shithole.
Is Ty Z still here?
Nah, he's snoring.
You reckon?
He's fixing his toilet.
Oh crap! I just said no. I'm not snoring. I'm not snoring. I looked at my little thing.
Can
here.
you?
Yes,
Who is the best snorer in the genre?
Can you put the picture down so we can see each other? Because I can't tell when I'm talking or not.
I can tell.
I can't.
See the Klingon? You don't want to see the Klingon?
I don't know what.
No thanks.
No, can you take the Klingon down?
Yes, I could take the Klingons down, but I will say, kapla.
Kapla.
God,
Yeah.
Are you one of those guys? Are you a comply? Are you a complier?
What's that?
How about that?
It's a woke.
The Klingons are down.
It's a very woke
everyone,
thing.
Yes, everyone now could
Fly.
advance their own interests. Damn it.
All right. Comply.
Here's a quiz question for Ron. Who's this?
I have no idea. Is that one of the Spanish wrestlers?
No.
Mysterio or something?
Yeah, but
Hang on.
you're
Sean the Sheep is backstage, I think.
No, he's not. Let him back.
No, I don't see.
I think he's eating.
He's here. He muted himself. He said he'll be right back in the.
Be right back. Yeah, BRB. I don't know all these bloody acronyms.
You did not know what BRB meant? Be right back.
You know what I did know, Ron? When
I know from Tyze's lectures that AFK.
I like it lectures. Like I'm a physics professor.
You are. AFK means after.
Nope.
Cunts.
That's a good one.
Away from keyboard.
You just looked it up on Google. Don't lie.
Oh,
I did. Yeah.
That is what AFK means. It does mean away from keyboard, and it has meant that AFK has meant away from keyboard for at least 30 years.
Yeah. Well, the good news is that Truth Warrior is back.
and the Orioles covered 6.5 runs.
Did they?
Yeah,
You know what they did? That because it's your birthday.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Well, they tried to. It's not my birthday.
It is. It is.
Early
2 hours.
birthday.
It's my
2 hours.
birthday. I mean,
In
I
2
don't care.
hours.
How about
It's
happy
Ron's
early
birthday in 2
birthday? Is that
hours.
cool?
He's
Yeah.
31.
But I don't want to. I'm not trying to be like a week-long birthday. I'm not one of these people. Like, oh.
Well, you just make it this day because you're just at home celebrating. Doesn't mean it's every day.
You know where I fucked up? I said it's my birthday weekend. So it's the one.
Yeah, you did.
I
Yes,
did say
you
that.
did.
So that's.
But you have to accept that comment that happy
Yeah,
birthday.
I guess I
'cause
did
it
say
is your
birthday
birthday
week, but I wasn't
weekend.
like saying it like, "Oh my god!" It was just like, no, it's just the weekend of my birthday.
Did
In
Stacy
passing,
take
like
you out
one
yet?
time, I said it.
Did
It's
Stacy
2
take you out
hours and
yet
9 minutes.
for your birthday?
2 hours and 9 minutes till Ron's birthday.
No, it's
2
my birthday. My birthday's Monday, so I was just saying it's my birthday week. I was like, all right, if I'm gonna do anything, it's gonna be this weekend.
No, it's your
Honestly.
birthday.
On
Hours
a
and 10.
weekend day rather than a Monday.
I'm
When
thinking about going to the beach on my birthday. I think I'm gonna do something different.
Yeah?
Yeah, I
You
think I'm
should
gonna
do
go stay for 2 days at the beach.
Do you know what Mosh does?
For one reason, on Monday it's cheap to go to the beach because normies work.
That's right.
So it's
I'm
cheaper
a
to go on
normie.
like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It doesn't matter to me. I don't give a fuck.
You could
I-
go.
I'm
you
going
go,
Monday and Tuesday.
go fishing. Get a fishing rod and go fishing.
Nah, I'm not a fisherman. I don't know how. I mean, if somebody will set my lure and bait the hook and
Yeah.
throw it out and then hand me the rod, I'll go
Yeah.
fishing.
Okay.
So
you need Mosh to do that.
I don't think he wants to drive to Florida.
Mosh. You need
I
to get
might do some road trips. I'm thinking about it. Though. I might do some. I might go if I go to Florida. I might as well go see Mosh. Why not?
Right.
What kind of car does Mosh have? Is it a Cadillac or what?
Yeah. I don't know if it's out there. If I had to guess, I just in my mind, I'm thinking like a Saturn. I think he drives like a Saturn.
Yeah.
Saturn.
Very
Wow.
Something a little
Haven't had,
out there.
Or a foot.
haven't heard that name in a long time.
What would be your guess? All right, everybody guess what you think Mosh drives. My guess is a
Ford
Saturn.
Focus.
That's a good guess.
Yeah.
It's convertible, but no, it's not. Is it convertible?
Geo Metro.
Cheap
You know, it's Mosh's birthday tomorrow. It's Mosh's birthday, and then my birthday's the next day.
Really?
I didn't know that.
We should do a birthday stream.
But I didn't know what day. That's how I found. I found Steph was through Cheap Charlie too, and how I found Cheap Charlie was when they had when they were all down there with like Zeiser came, Jeff Lepard came, and they all hung
Oh
out.
no, not that, Florida.
I didn't know who Sizer or Jeff
I
Lepard
found
was. I was like, who's that douchey bald-headed guy dancing around at Sexy Bar?
I will tell you stories, Truth Warriors, about that. Well, I'll tell you stories about that from the people there. Well, not on my stream, but maybe offline. I would tell you.
All right.
Well,
what is the purple grimace guy been up to? Why does the grimace have a fucking a drippy chin? If you know what I'm saying.
It's a milkshake.
Oh, it's a milkshake. Doesn't look like a milkshake to me, but all right.
Well, a milkshake
strange
brings all the boys.
A strange picture to have in your avatar selection.
I don't know if that would
be.
That's not in your context, Z, is it?
Why are you so low, Truth Warrior?
No,
you're
not
really
in my content, which Ron is looking at right now. Yeah, definitely not.
I think everybody here I pretty much found most of you guys through Steph, because you would go cycle through Steph's.
Well,
Like
I
Ron
think
would
most.
go in there
well, I
and
think-
he'd always boot him and ban him and take his spare, whatever. He was always messing with you, Ron.
He loved
I
me.
think most of it was.
He
through
loves
Well,
you.
it shows that he loves
Cheap
somebody.
Charlie. Yeah, most of it was through Cheap Charlie.
Or Steph.
Oh, the
Like,
clay
you-
pots are bad.
Most
I
of it,
found you through Steph. Z.
right?
Yeah.
But most of it was through
Cheap Charlie. Yeah.
Yeah. Which
There's
is
a
good.
Cheap
That's
Charlie
good.
connection for sure.
Yeah.
Ron, you should go visit Cheap Charlie in Guatemala.
I'm definitely not going. I'll go to Cleveland. I'm not going to
Yeah.
Guatemala.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know any American that would want to do Guatemala right now.
I don't know any Americans that would want to do Latin
I mean,
America,
maybe on a
period, right now.
resort or like a well. I'm not like walking around anywhere. Like,
Can we
it's
can we
not like
can we get the Klingon?
there's too
Sorry?
much going on.
Can we get rid of the Klingon?
No. Until,
he
until
really
we
loves
figure out.
I'm sorry. I don't know
Until
what
we
his.
figure out
We
who.
have another
who-
I
country
can't
that's
tell
not
who's fucking.
Klingon.
I can't tell who's talking.
You don't recognize our voices? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, you know these guys. These two guys, Worf, Gowron.
I never watched Star Trek, so I don't know.
Look,
Oh,
That
look,
dude, he looked almost
Damn,
like
Truth
Harry.
Warrior.
Harry.
This
I
is
never
like
watched it. I never watched
like-
it either. I never seen Star Wars. I never watched Star Trek. I never watched
Ah,
stuff.
I saw the
Really?
last three.
No action
Really?
hero. None of that
That's it.
fantasy
Oh, Jesus.
bull crap. I don't like any of it.
I never liked Star Trek at all. So
Yeah,
sorry.
so-
I don't like fantasy. Only women fantasies. I don't want any like aliens and Klingons.
Here's something for Tazi. Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica. I remember that from the 70s.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
pull that while we get rid of the Klingon picture.
No, now we can't even do 1980s stuff. Oh, it's terrible.
I tell you what, put Back to the Future up as your post.
But you guys don't even know this. This is like
No,
you don't even know this. This is
This
very-
picture is like Kelly Colbo when he plays his singing evil boy.
His devil bull. That's what I call
Somebody
it.
told me
It's
Kelly
It is.
Colwell owned me
devil.
yesterday. Is
There's a
the
picture
Kelly
of the
Colwell
devil on
just
the
owned
bottom of
me
that thing.
yesterday?
Huh?
I don't know.
Kelly
People are
Colbo.
telling, a lot of people
What'd
are
you
telling
say,
me
Ron?
Kelly Colwell went in on me yesterday. I don't know.
Kelly is a Nazi.
Oh, is he?
Wait, no. Go back here, Nazi stream.
I was
I
waiting
would
for
not
Kelly-
want to.
that.
I would not want to be a part of someone that says that it's a Nazi stream.
Do you support Kanye West's right to free speech? with his Nazi
YouTube
song?
is my job.
Do you
He
support
got-
Kanye
yeah.
West's free speech about his Nazi song?
Free speech about YouTube being a job.
I haven't heard that yet.
You haven't heard the Nazi song?
YouTube is his job.
Apparently,
guys.
it's supposed to
Sorry,
be.
Alex.
Yeah, it's like everyone's listening to it. But have you seen when he took that
There's
woman to
even
like
a
that?
crazier song he came out with. I think it's crazier than the Nazi song about where he admits that when he was younger he used to suck his cousin's dick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You got to
100%.
listen to Dave Chappelle's
Hey.
story of when he first met him. It's funny as hell.
No, it's real. He admitted, like, yeah, when it really happened.
I don't care if he
Cousin's
admitted
dick.
it.
There's
Is
a whole
this-
song. You haven't heard the song? I think it's called Cousin.
I've heard. I know the name and I know the song, but I haven't bothered to listen to
Is
it.
this P
Can I,
Diddy?
can I play a little bit of it for you? Just a little.
Nope.
piece?
No.
Is it P
I'm about to
Diddy?
start my
Is
own
that a,
stream. I'll start my own stream. I'm gonna play.
who are you talking about?
No, Ron, don't play it.
Sean, he's
I'll
talking
wait
about
for my-
Kanye.
I'm gonna have
Kanye is the one. Like 2 months ago, he went to some award ceremony with this girl that he's dating, and she took off her clothes in front of all the
That's
cameras.
what
heard
I'm
about
on my
that.
stream. Do you support Kanye West's right to free speech? That's what I'll title it. See if I can get.
Kanye West is mentally. Kanye West belongs in the Thailand genre. He would get along very well.
But you don't realize that he's just a fucking huge troll. You really,
Yeah.
everybody's talking about him now. He wants
Wait.
it's attention.
Really, Kanye West is just a huge troll.
Just like a troll. Troll wants to.
He's not the person that just beat up.
No, he's
someone
not.
else.
He's just saying the shit to fucking get a rise out of people.
Okay.
Or do you think that he's mental? You really think he's? What do you think?
I think that to a certain extent, when you become so successful in such a short time, it doesn't have an effect on you mentally.
Yeah, I would agree. Listen to Dave Chappelle's interview
part
about.
of the problem is he wants the attention, and once the attention goes away, he just starts saying crazy shit, and that'll get him.
He's got an ego. He's got a huge ego on him. He knew from the beginning. He was like, "I'm going to be big. Watch this." Jay-Z started him off or whatever, and everyone was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And he's like, "I'm Kanye, and I'm going to be big. Watch." And everyone was like, "Okay." And it was like all like the old school like rappers and like gangsters and stuff that were like hanging out, like Jay-Z's like, what do you call it, like sound room or whatever. And like Kanye West was like taking over apparently, like the whole thing, and everyone was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" I don't know.
It has.
But did you pick the winner for the Preakness? Anybody pick the winner for the Preakness though?
Yes, I did.
You did, really? Or who won?
The guys with the brown shirts.
If you're gonna say it, you better at least know who the fucking winner is, Sean.
Yes.
It wasn't the Israeli people, was it?
Yeah, it was a horse.
The Israeli people did not win the horse race.
It was definitely a horse.
It was a horse named Steve.
No, I thought you were talking about Eurovision.
It was a 3-year-old.
Sorry.
Oh, Eurovision. Are you talking about Eurovision?
No, I think Ron's talking about the horse racing. I thought he was talking about Eurovision or whatever the. Yeah.
The Klingons won the horse. Not the horse race. The Klingons won
Why is
Eurovision.
this picture here? This ugly fucking head.
I have no idea. Like, what is the point of it?
He keeps putting that on. He wants to play it. He's been doing it for like the last 2 hours, and then he takes it off.
What is the reason? There's got to be a. Tell us the story, at least, Tyzy. What is it? Is that your favorite picture? Or
wait. Are you asking me?
Story behind.
If you're asking me who won, are you asking me who won the Preakness?
No,
Can you take?
But are you
Can
searching?
you take the freak down?
You're searching all this time.
I would say journalism, but I don't know.
Yeah, you go.
It looks like it looks like that guy that goes to Vietnam in the Thai genre. I forget his name.
Can you take those freaks down off the screen? The freaks. Why don't you put butterflies and rainbows and fish
Put a
and
unicorn.
animals? A unicorn. Put a unicorn or a. I can't see who's talking, so I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Oh, how about this? I don't know who put this on. But it sounds pretty cool.
Honestly.
I'm being trolled.
I think I'm being trolled too.
Yeah. This is gone ridiculous.
Redonkulous.
The two guys that play the music.
Izzy is under.
Can we get a hello, welcome, please?
Trolls in the genre. If you don't even know how good of a troll Tyzy is, Tyzy is one of the ultimate trolls.
No, actually,
some people don't know. They really
I would
don't
say
know. They don't know how he trolls.
Of all the trolls, I'm probably one of the least likely trolls you would think are trolls.
Tyzy's got like 100 accounts.
Yeah, Ron, whatever you think I am, I'm probably not one of the most.
I don't think that's true.
Hey, Tyzy, do you remember in COVID when we triggered JG on Steph's?
Yeah, that might be a troll thing.
That was the funniest thing ever. Steph started to say, yeah, he was living in his car, and me and Tyzy were giving JG.
I love how he was living in his car.
Yeah. He's like, it's dark in there. Turn the headlights on. And he's like, Steph, I don't live in a fucking van, you fucking idiot.
Do I love it?
I do remember.
I love it when Mike Chef calls Jorgen George.
Oh yeah.
Georgian.
There's so many people I don't see anymore. Like I haven't heard from in months.
Sharpie.
JG. Well, yeah, JG, Gaza, Sharpies. I wasn't really around that much.
You should be
Pickpock,
happy that
kind
you
of.
were some of these people. Yeah, I feel happy for them. Some of these people.
Yeah, no, I kind of did too. But it's like kind of like I don't know what happened to him. Sort of. I don't know.
So I turned down going to a event tonight because my wife
was it the Preakness?
No,
so
it
you
was
can
not.
show these
It was
ugly
not.
heads on the screen.
And I turned down going there tonight.
Was it a
What
Star
were you
Trek
going to do there?
convention?
Trekkies. He was in the movie. You ever seen Trekkies?
It was.
You should really check that out.
I
If you
don't know how
know
to
Trekkies,
yeah, it was.
it's a good watch.
Here's something funny. B-Moron, you probably know this. This is probably Tyson, you probably know this as well. Who remembers Triumph the Insult comic dog from the Conan show?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did a thing about Star Wars. Exactly. He did a really good one about when they were standing in line waiting to go to the Star Wars movie. He totally ripped the people. It's like what Revenge of the Nerds, not Revenge of the Sith, or whatever it was. Like, oh my god. Anyway,
You guys
I
know
like
they're
Triumph.
bringing back King of the Hill and Malcolm in the Middle in like 2
No,
weeks.
they're not.
Yeah, they are. You can
No, they're
Google
not.
it. I just saw it like 2 days ago. Cause Dewey, the kid, he's like all traumatized and shit. He doesn't want to be a part of it. And they're like,
I can't do this anymore, man. If you're really just gonna let Sean the Sheep come over here and talk bullshit, I'm fucking.
okay, well, fine. Then I'm gonna leave too. Fuck you.
No, Sean the Sheep, he knows what he's doing.
Is that the insult comic squirrel?
Yes, it is a squirrel.
Why did Ron leave?
Ah,
Rage
damn.
quit.
I didn't want Ron to leave.
Yeah, Ron, come back, man.
Damn it.
Can't we just all get along?
Let's just check the comments. Truth Warrior's in the comments, and she is, and Chris is as well, and Steve Anderson. My Truth Warrior says it's something I not normally do. You need to indulge when you go to Thailand. You need to indulge.
I don't know what that means. Indulge. I don't know what that
Indulge. Jesus, we could go anywhere with that. Truth Warrior says, my state's full recording. I can get it here finally. The ones I'm doing, it doesn't matter. Anyway, shouldn't read that out. Something about it's CBD gummy time.
That's right.
CBD.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
now you
Chris
know I'm talking
says,
about partaking. Z, what I said about indulging, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I would have no idea.
Okay. I figured you'd get it.
All
I
good,
talk
all
in
good.
code so you won't get zapped, but you know what I meant. God, I was hoping.
No, I would not know. I would not know.
What?
But this guy right here, Squirrely, he would know. And
well, I wonder how Squirrely would be if he indulged in a gummy. He'd probably be trippy too.
I wish.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to take a puff of a joint to celebrate that.
Yeah, I'm on gummies. I'm doing gummies tonight.
Yeah, that's the shit.
And Ty Z is doing vodka. So
well,
what was this
I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well.
How many
And
gummies are you gonna
yeah,
eat?
so welcome back,
Welcome
Ron.
back, Ron.
How many
Welcome back,
gummies
Ron.
are you gonna eat?
Welcome back.
How many gummies are you gonna eat?
I had 2 already.
How many milligrams?
10 each.
Ooh, I had this 10 milligram, 10.
Yeah, that's what mine are. You have, what is it? Juicy watermelon? No, I don't have juicy watermelon. It's
I have limited
fried
edition. I have limited edition strawberry daydream.
Mm.
That's
They were
interesting.
so
Now I
good.
want.
Now we're talking.
Is it
All right.
sativa? Is it hybrid?
I ate them
or
all,
is it
all in one sitting. I ate them all, all 10 of
Oh
them.
my god! What? How many was in there?
10, 100
You
milligrams.
ate them all in one sitting?
Yeah, I do it all the time. They're only
Okay,
like $8.
we're about to find out.
You want me to eat?
That's
You want me to eat all
100
10 of these?
milligrams. Damn! And then you drink too?
Yeah.
We're
I'm gonna
about
eat
to
all
figure
these.
out.
I'm gonna eat all these on my stream tonight. I got 10 more.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't
When
do that.
when are you going live? I gotta see this shit.
After Ty's eat, gets to bed.
Oh,
No, I'm going to bed very soon. So we're gonna
So
make.
here's
we're gonna
all
make this-
10. I'm gonna take all 10 of these tonight.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
damn! I only had 2, and they're 10 milligrams each too, but they're not
Yeah,
those.
these are 10. These are 10s.
Ron,
So
you
what
should-
strain
you
is
should
it?
ask-
Is it sativa? Is it hybrid or is it indica?
Oh, I don't know. How can you tell?
Oh, you should know.
Juicy
when you buy
watermelon,
'em. I
10
buy 'em,
milligram
they're like-
juice, 10.16 milligrams per chews. Okay. Total cannabinoids, serving size, suggested use.
All right. I'm gonna leave the stream, but I'm leaving you, Truth Warrior, with the
Dry plate.
important thing of making
what?
it. Well,
Well, can
making
you
it.
take these things down before you go to sleep? Can you take them
No,
Yeah,
down?
get rid of the ugly heads.
We'll leave that to
I
Sean the
was
Prawn.
vocalizing.
Well,
for
I'll
Sean
start
to
a
take
stream.
take
I'll do
over.
all this. Fuck it. Let's do it.
All good. All good.
I might
How long
need
will I
another one.
sleep, you think? I'll leave my
Well,
stream
Fine.
up.
How
permanently,
long you've been
probably the
up?
next 1,000 years. But
How long?
5 days.
So here's what I'm gonna do. A shot
Oh.
for every shot I do. I'm gonna do a gummy with every shot.
What?
Yeah, is that a good idea?
No.
No.
Hey, celebrate your
Yeah.
birthday weekend,
Alright.
bro.
I heard
Your
I
birthday
heard 2
weekend,
names.
remember?
I love not good ideas.
Yeah, but it's your birthday weekend, so well, there he goes.
He's setting up the shot glass, the stream, and the
Now, Tyson,
gummies.
don't
Get
leave
ready to
yet,
go.
please, because you gotta let Ron back up when he comes back on. I don't know what he's doing.
Well, I'm
Maybe
going to
he is
sleep.
setting up.
So I'm going to sleep. So I don't know if Ron's coming back on. But I would say it's a cool.
Or he'll start his own. He'll probably start his own.
We will see. Maybe
So
maybe it doesn't work
I
out.
didn't
But
know
yeah.
that Ron and Sean didn't get along. Not you, Sean. The other Sean.
The sheep.
The sheep. Yeah. Oh well. I
Don't know what
didn't
the
know.
story
I
is
don't
there.
know, and I don't need
Boom.
to know.
Right? Yeah. Damn it.
I
What?
think Z needs to eat a gummy when he goes back to Thailand. I know they have them because other streamers like Cheap Charlie, he always says, "I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do any gummies." And right within days after he says that, if he's in Thailand, he's doing gummies and disappears for like 2 days. Comes back and says, "Oh, I just did gummies again." And I'm thinking, wait, didn't you say you weren't going to do them anymore?
I have never done gummies in Thailand.
I know. That's why it would be a trip. You, the gummies, and CD.
Oh, CD. Oh, I love CD. I
I
hope
know.
I
Well,
hope
see,
we could reunite next year.
if you get that room, you don't even know.
Yeah,
But maybe
well,
there's other rooms that have
Yeah.
toilets.
I'm
You did
guessing
get that.
my guess is
Mhm.
we're gonna get the same room, but we'll see.
You need to get that room with the broken toilet.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love it. If I could get that same room with the broken toilet, I would love that.
Or
And then
if
he goes
they
down
repaired it, if
down
they
his
repair it, you got to
like
get
lives.
maintenance to come up and unscrew it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Z, tell him
Yeah,
about
I
that.
totally agree. Just unscrew it.
Tell him your attempts to get it fixed and what they did.
Yeah.
Duct tape?
Didn't they try to throw up a language barrier or something?
No, it's all good. It's all good there.
But you, after a while, you didn't care. But at the beginning, I think it was annoying.
Here for the gummy action?
Well, it was well,
Yes,
well,
gummy
you're in,
action.
that's yeah. It's an
He must be
interesting.
on his live. He must be
All right,
live.
I gotta go. I gotta go. I'm not saying I gotta go because my wife is coming home, but I gotta go.
All right.
I'm gonna leave the stream on, and I'm gonna
Oh.
leave the Klingons.
Sean, did you hear that?
I'm gonna leave the Klingons on.
Okay. Ron has started streaming.
Did he? I guess
Yeah.
everybody go over to Ron's stream and then Z can go to sleep.
Yeah.
But his stream is about having
Yeah,
one
yeah.
gummy every shot.
I know. And he's got 10 of them. I've eaten 2 of mine. I might eat a third one. That's about as far as I'll go.
Yeah. See, you're sensible.
I've always been. I can't get crazy like that. Because then tomorrow would be totally useless. It'd be like full recovery mode where you're too hungover to do anything. I got stuff to do tomorrow. Not a lot, but I do have things that need to get done before Monday.
Yeah, all good. I agree. All good.
Yeah, but that you got you got a family. They're gonna want your attention, I'm sure. If you didn't go to the event,
they've wanted my attention since the 1976. How do you? Well,
and they're still married to you. Wow, that's amazing. They've wanted your attention since 1976, and they're still married.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to post anything since that.
Hey, I'm not the one that's married, so I just enjoy life. I'm looking. Where are you, Ron? There he is. Yeah, he is. A gummy per drink. Oh my God, he's gonna be wasted. Well, you and Squirrely go get some rest.
Yeah. Have a good
Oh,
night.
and Chris just came back. You and Squirrely
Hello.
go get some rest.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Chris yeah, just came back. I'm gonna go over to Ron's. Squirrely.
Hello.
He's going to bed.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Chris yeah, I'm gonna go over to Ron's.
I see you over on runs. See you over on runs.
Chris, yeah, I'm gonna go over to Ron's.
I see you over on runs. See you over on runs.
Chris, yeah, I'm gonna go over to Ron's.
I see you over on runs. See you over on runs.